Good evening and welcome one and all to Pacific414 Pop Talk. I am your host, Mike. Tonight, I actually have 7 stories to discuss in this 2 hour edition of Pop Talk. And just so everybody knows, before I let anybody in, I will read the first 2 stories of the night and then I will send out the StreamYard invite for anybody who wishes to pop on excuse me, wishes to pop on the panel. Now, the stories I have lined up for tonight are, of course, the passing of legendary actress Angela Lansbury. I also have a story on Christian Bale talking about Marvel and filming in the MCU. We have some information regarding My Hero Academia Season 6, the English dub, and when the series is set to premiere. We also have a story about Superman being sidelined too long, according to The Rock. And another story I have for tonight is the cast of Star Trek The Next Generation being up to doing another Star Trek movie after Picard ends. And then, of course, another story, if we get to it, will be Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes has begun production in Australia. And another story, if we get to it, will be Call of Duty Modern Warfare rumored to bring back controversial skin. So let's go ahead and go into our first story. First of all, I do want to say good evening to each and every one of you out there who are currently listening or watching or lurking. Thank you very much for being here this evening. And also, thank you very much for coming by on Sunday for the Sunday morning edition of Pop Talk. So, without further ado, here is our first story of the night, and it's in regards to the passing of actress Angela Lansbury. So, there's the article in the chat, and I will go ahead and put the article on the screen. And here we go. Here is the article. It comes from the Hollywood Reporter and it says Angela Lansbury, entrancing star of stage and screen, dies at 96. She played Mame and won 5 Tony Awards, received an honorary Oscar, and starred in 12 seasons as Jessica Fletcher on Murder, She Wrote. Of course, this was posted yesterday, and it says Angela Lansbury, the irrepressible 3-time Oscar nominee and 5-time Tony Award winner who solved 12 seasons worth of crimes as the novelist amateur sleuth Jessica Fletcher on CBS Murder She Wrote has died. She was 96. Lansbury, who received an Emmy nomination for Best Actress in a Drama Series for each and every season of Murder She Wrote, yet never won, died in her sleep at 1:30 a.m. Tuesday at her home in Los Angeles. Her family announced she was 5 days shy of her birthday. Says Lansbury went 0 for 18 in career Emmy noms, but it did get some love from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, who gave her an honorary Oscar in 2013 for her career as an entertainment icon who has created some of the cinema's most memorable characters, inspiring generations of actors. The London born Lansbury, then 19, received Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her very first film role as the young maid Nancy in The Home of Charles Boyer and his new bride, Ingrid Bergman, in George Cukor's Gaslight. And that was back in 1941. For her third movie, The Picture of Dorian Gray, 1946, she received another nom for playing the lovely singer whose heart is broken by the hedonistic title character. Her mother, West End actress Mona McGill, played a duchess in the film. Goes on to say Lansbury then took a turn toward evil and then was rewarded with her final Oscar nom for portraying Lawrence Harvey's excuse me, I can't even speak tonight. But then that's part for the course. Manipulative mother in the Cold War classic The Manchurian Candidate in 1962. The actress often played characters much older than herself, and in this case, Harvey was just a few years younger than Lansbury. Her charismatic performance as the eccentric title character in a 1966 production of Maine vaulted her to Broadway superstardom and resulted in the first of her four Tonys for Best Actress in a Musical. She followed with wins for playing the Mad Woman of Chariot in 1969's Dear World with music and lyrics by Jerry Herman for starring as the ultimate stage mother Rose in a 1974 revival of Gypsy for dazzling as the off the wall Miss Lovett in the original 1979 production of Stephen Sondheim's Sweeney Todd, and in 2009 for portraying the clairvoyant Madame Arcady in the revival of No Coward Farce Bliff Spirit. I probably said that wrong. Probably actually meant to say Blithe Spirit, but she was still on the road in Blithe Spirit as she approached her 90th birthday, and in December 2018, she was back on the big screen as the Balloon Lady in Mary Poppins Returns. In June, she received yet another Tony, this one for Lifetime Achievement. In the early 1980s, Lansbury was not interested in headlining a TV series when she was approached by Columbo creators Richard Levinson and William Link to star in Murder, She Wrote. The pair earlier had created Ellery Queen, another show about a crime solving writer, and former All in the Family star Gene Stapleton had already turned them down. I couldn't imagine I would ever want to do television, Lansbury said in 1986 interview with the New York Times. But the year 1983 rolled around and Broadway was not forthcoming, so I took part in the miniseries Gertrude Whitney and Little Gloria Happy at Last, a dramatization of Gloria Vanderbilt's childhood. And then there was a slew of roles in miniseries, and I began to sense that the television audience was very receptive to me. And I decided I should stop flirting and shut the door or say to my agents, I'm ready to think series. Then 59, Lansbury signed on as the widow Jessica, a retired English teacher, mystery writer, and amateur detective who enjoyed riding her bicycle she didn't drive in the cozy coastal town of Cobbett Cove, Maine. Late in the series, Jessica spent time teaching criminology at a Manhattan University. Universal Television's Murder, She Wrote ran from 1984 to 1996, plus four telefilms, and was a huge ratings hit on Sunday nights following 60 Minutes. Both CBS shows appealed to intelligent older viewers, and Lansbury was the rare woman in the history of television to carry her own series. The show went over 3 in in the Emmy race for Outstanding Drama Series and won just twice in 41 tries overall, according to IMDb. Nobody in this town watches Murder, She Wrote, Lansbury, referring to the TV industry, said in 1991. Only the public watches. Goes on to say the show was ranked in the top 13 in the Nielsen ratings and as high as number 4 on Sundays in the first 11 seasons, but plummeted to number 58 when CBS moved it to Thursdays in 1995-96 against NBC's then powerful lineup. The series finale, quite appropriately, was titled Death by Demographics. Well, they should have kept it on Sunday nights. What appealed to me about Jessica Fletcher, she said, is that I could do what I do best and play someone I have had little chance to play a sincere, down to earth woman. Mostly I've played very spectacular bitches. Jessica has extreme sincerity, compassion, extraordinary intuition. I'm not like her. My imagination runs right. I'm not a pragmatist. Jessica is. During the course of 12 seasons, Jessica solved some 300 murders and still had time to write more than 30 books. Angela Bridget Lansbury was born October 16th, 1925, in London to a timber merchant father and an actress mother, a star of the English stage. She participated in school plays at Hampstead School for Girls and studied for a year at drama school, passing with honors at the Royal Academy of Music. With the outbreak of World War II, she, her mother, and younger twin brothers, Bruce and Edgar, moved to the US. Her father had died when she was 9. Her half sister stayed behind and married actor Peter Usmanov in 1940. The blue eyed Lansbury attended the Vegan School of Dramatic Art in New York City and graduated in 1942. Although still in her mid teens, she auditioned for nightclub appearances, and her songs and invitations of comic actress Beatrice Lilly won her an offer from Se- the Seymour Club in Montreal. She fibbed about her age and got a 6-week engagement. Her mother, who wound up in Hollywood at the end of the war, brought her daughter to California, and the 18-year-old was signed by MGM and given the role in Gaslight. She then appeared in National Velvet in 1944 with Elizabeth Taylor, but spent much of the next several years stuck in small parts at the studio. I ended up playing some of the most ridiculous roles at MGM, she said, but Lansbury found a home in the theater. She made her Broadway debut in 1957 in the Farsi Hotel Paradise, and her first musical came with the 1964 Sondheim production Anyone Can Whistle. On the big screen, Lansbury also was memorable as Elvis Presley's mom in Blue Hawaii, as a cold-hearted parent in The World of Henry Orant in 1964, as the English witch E Eglantine Pierce in Bedknobs and Broomsticks. That's a movie I haven't seen in a long time. And as Teapot Mrs. Potts in the animated Beauty and the Beast in 1991. Warming up for her Murder, She Wrote stint, Lansbury starred in 2 Agatha Christie projects as a novelist in Death on the Nile in 1978 and the spinster sleuth Miss Marple in Mirror Cracked in 1980. When she was 19, she wed actor Richard Cromwell, then 37, but the marriage lasted less than a year, and she later discovered he was gay. And it goes on to say in 1949, she wed British agent and producer Peter Shaw, and they were together until his death in 2003. They had 2 children, Anthony and Deidre. In 1971, after her house burned down to the ground in Malibu, the family moved to a farmhouse in Cork, Ireland, and stayed there for a decade. She said that saved her kids from succumbing to drugs. Her brothers also went on to show business careers, with Edgar working as an art director and producer, and Bruce, who died in February 2017, serving as producer on Murder, She Wrote, The Wild Wild West, Wonder Woman, and other shows. In addition to Edgar, Anthony, and Deidre, survivors include another son, David, grandchildren, Peter, Catherine, Ian, and 5 great grandchildren. A private family ceremony will be held at a date to be determined. So, you know, it's always sad when we lose someone who was so prolific in entertainment. And with Angela Lansbury being a part of our lives, whether it be on Broadway, whether it be in movies, whether it be in television, she's one actress I think we're all going to miss. And I do want to say hello to everybody who's here. I don't want you all to think I was ignoring you as I was reading that. I do want to first say hello to Gap After Dark. How are you doing this evening? Cobra Disney Jedi, it's good to see you. Godzillionaire, it's good to see you. And we also have Kathy Skywalker. And she says, my mom liked Murder She Wrote. Yeah, my grandmother on both my mom's and dad's side, both my grandmothers like watching Murder She Wrote, and my parents would watch it too. And Cobra Disney Jedi also says my mom watched Murder She Wrote every week. Yeah, it was a staple. Gap After Dark says, hello, Cobra Disney Jedi, Godzillionaire, Kathy Skywalker. And Godzillionaire says, hey to Gap Stargate. Everybody is saying hi to one another. And Kathy is saying, saw National Velvet several times. I'd love to hear about it sometime, Kathy. And Kathy is also saying, I always thought it was funny that Angela was only 10 years older than Elvis when she played his mother. Yeah. I mean, and that's just how it worked in Hollywood back then. You could be 10 years older and play somebody's parent. It's just how it was. And Gap says we're losing so many great actors and actresses, and there's no good talent coming up. That's the truth right there. All these talented actors and actresses that we've gotten to know are now passing on, and you know the actors and actresses we have left. I'm sorry, but they just don't cut it like an Angela Lansbury or many of the actors that we've lost this year. Like James Caan and several others. I mean, there's so many to name, especially the ones that we lost in the past 2 years. Christopher Plummer comes to mind. What a great actor he was. And they're they're actors and actresses who can't be replaced. Sorry, they can't, because there is no talent like them anymore. All right, so the next article I'm going to go ahead and talk about is the cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Supposedly, they're up to making another Star Trek film. So let me go ahead and bring this article on screen. And then after I've read this article, I will then hand out the invitation. And hopefully, unlike Saturday night, where it seemed to be picky and choosy about who it was and wasn't going to work for, hopefully tonight it actually works. But this article comes from Geek Tyrant, and it's by Jory Parr, and it was posted just yesterday. It goes on to say the Next Generation cast is up for making another Star Trek movie after Picard ends. Well, technically, Picard has already ended. They've already finished filming, and now it's post production. And from what I've seen, I'm not excited. I'm sorry, I'm not. It goes on to say Star Trek Picard Season 3 is bringing the Star Trek The Next Generation cast back together for one final epic adventure. This was the goal of the final season of Picard, and while this may actually be their final mission, Patrick Stewart and the rest of the cast are up for making another movie. While at New York Comic Con this past weekend, a fan asked the crew if Picard really is going to be the final outing. Gates first responded, saying that she'd be happy for it to go on forever. Jonathan Frakes added that they're not dead yet, followed up by Marina Sirtis saying, just old. Brent Spiner then jokingly suggested he could get a solo series as the lead. As for what Patrick Stewart is thinking, he said, I know there are some Paramount Plus people here and also from Paramount Pictures. We could still make a movie. Frakes went on to talk about how there is a Star Trek shaped hole in Paramount Pictures' release schedule following Star Trek 4. He then suggested that maybe a new Next Generation movie could fill that void. After the trailer for Star Trek Picard Season 3 was released online, Frakes shared it on social media with the following note: "The final voyage, maybe not final." We'll just have to wait and see what happens after Star Trek Picard ends. If something happens with another Next Generation film, that will be cool. What do you think? And this is where I'm going to leave it all to you to decide. What do you think about these first two stories, as I am now providing the link so that you may join me? So there we are. There's a link. I will go ahead and I will pin it to the very top. And while I wait for folks to answer the hail and beam in, I'll go ahead and read some of your comments. Let's see. Let's see. Uh, was what Gap said the last time. Gap After Dark says James Caan movie in The Thief was excellent. Besides all the other stuff he was in, yeah, he was a great actor. Kathy Skywalker says, "Yep, like Santino, Sonny Corleone. Yep, yeah, we all know what happens to Sonny." And Gab says, "Yeah." And God's Air says, "Star Trek TNG, the search for more money." That's true. And go ahead and think what you want when I say this, but I think if we had gotten another movie after Nemesis, that would have been the nice final bow for the Next Generation films. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And welcome to the stream.
Hi, everybody. I'm Fish Shozo, and you're Pacific.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, the first time I've seen watching you on your streams, and
Well,
and you're
thank
talking
you for
about
being here.
yeah, and you talking about My Hero Academia. Well,
I will be talking about My Hero Academia. That is one
what,
of
what
the
we just talking
stories
about?
for tonight.
We just
And
we just
it's going
talking
to
about.
be, it's mainly talking about the English dub and when the English dub version of My Hero Academia is premiering on Crunchyroll.
Okay, because I ain't been following that. I stopped halfway through season 3 since I got kind of bored, honestly, with that.
Okay.
But what were you just talking about? Cause I came in very not very early.
Well, the first few stories I talked about, the first one was about the passing of Angela Lansbury. And
Who,
then the next story I talked about was the cast of Star Trek The Next Generation being open to do another Star Trek movie.
uh, I'm not interested in a Star Trek movie with the old actors. I'm interested in a good Star Trek show. Like
Mhm.
I want to have to see the old actors who are well pretty much very old now doing their roles again. Like like what
I hear you there. I
like
absolutely hear you there. It's like I just said, if there was a movie right after Nemesis, I would have been fine with that. That would have been the nice final bow for the Next Generation cast. But now
mm,
they're all just too old to bring any
mm,
excitement.
exactly.
So, if you don't mind, do you have a YouTube channel or anything?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel called Fish Shows.
Okay. If you want to, go ahead and put your link in the private chat, and I'll go ahead and put it in the public chat.
I can't. I'm not on my computer. I'm on the phone, so it's kind of hard to maneuver around.
Okay.
Just search Fish Shows on YouTube. You can find me very easily.
All right. We'll do that. So let's go ahead and move on to that My Hero Academia story. So let me just bring it up here. And I'll go ahead and put the story first in the chat and I'll bring it up on screen. And here we go. All right, so this next story comes to us from Anime News Network, and it says English dub of My Hero Academia season 6 anime premieres on Crunchyroll on October 15th. It goes on to say Crunchyroll stream season as it airs in Japan. It then goes on to say Crunchyroll announced on Saturday at the My Hero Academia panel at New York Comic Con that it will stream the English dub for the 6th season of My Hero Academia starting on October 15th. And at this time, I do want to welcome Phil McCracken.
What's up?
Not much, brother. How are you doing?
Yeah, pretty rough night, but I'm here.
All right. Well, if you want to talk about it after the stream, you know, I'm all ears.
It's all good, brother. I'll overcome, but I always appreciate your helping hand.
Not a problem, brother.
Sorry I was a little late getting on to watch the stream, but I am here.
No worries. Nobody's ever late. It's something I've always said. It doesn't matter if you get here at the beginning, the middle, or near the end. You're not late. You're always on time.
If only I was a wizard.
All right. So, go ahead.
Okay, so with My Hero Academia, what exactly is going on now? What's major arc now?
Right now in the major arc, the villains have pretty much all assembled, and there's supposedly going to be a big fight coming for the heroes in season 6.
Okay.
And
yeah.
welcome, Gap After Dark.
Hello. Oh wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hear you. At least I can.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm laying in bed, Mike. Hello, everybody. Yeah, it's hard to do things on phone. Fizz what?
Fizz Chozo.
Fizz Chozo. What a cool name. I just dropped your link in the chat. It's hard to do it when you're on the show, but I just wanted to say stuff about the Star Trek, Mike.
Go ahead.
I think they should just leave it alone. They've already, it's on life support, and it needs a defibrillator. I think they should just leave it alone. Picard sucks. It ruined everything. All the new start. I mean, I can't stand to watch Next Generation right now because of the way Picard went. And
I didn't even bother to watch Picard.
Oh, well, you ain't missed nothing, brother. It's not, it's just, it's not, it's, pushing agendas and all this kind of stuff. We just want great science fiction with great actors and actresses. That's all we want. And I think they should leave Star Trek alone and, for a very long time.
Yeah. I heard Picard is gay with data now for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. And I haven't seen but one season of Star Trek Discovery, and I have not and the only reason why I watched it is because everybody was like Captain Pike, Captain Pike, Captain Pike, and the show didn't grab me, and I had no interest in Strange New Worlds after I read both sides of the fence, and I was like, I ain't wasting my time on this.
And they also had the Lower Decks thing, which was a cartoon spinoff. It's basically like a Harley Quinn cartoon, but with Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yep.
It wasn't that good. Hello, Phil.
Yeah,
So who are
I'm
they?
done with Star Trek and Star Wars. I'm not. I didn't. Do you know I didn't even bother watching Rise of Skywalker?
Oh, I didn't either, brother. And I was told we didn't miss nothing.
Yeah, I ain't
No,
bother
you
watching none of
didn't.
Disney Plus shows either.
Yeah.
Not even Mandalorian. I didn't even watch that. So I'm done with Star Wars. I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm with you. I did watch the first one and I was upset with the first one. And then when I found out what they did in the second one and the third one, I was like, well, actually, it was done after the first one. But when I got really pissed off when I heard they killed Han Solo, and I was like, you know what? Whatever.
And
Y'all
what was
damn.
it? Pissed to Han Solo?
They killed Han Solo in the second sequel movies.
No, the first sequel movie. The second sequel movie that is when they destroyed Luke's character.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, you know, you want to see you want to see um, all three of them together, and you want to see, you want to see Lando. I want to see Lando and Lobot, and because I like,
The only wrong men for Rise of Skywalker, and that's it. For like the only thing.
yeah,
Well, that's what I heard. I don't know. I didn't bother watching it.
yeah, I didn't bother watching it either. Like I said, I stopped after the first one. I was like done.
I stopped
So what?
after the last Jedi.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Finn could have been a good, great main character, but
yeah, but
uh,
They dropped the ball.
yeah, they decided to raise the hero, and even though she doesn't even have her own unique story. She just has Luke Skywalker, but she's like a bad version of Luke Skywalker.
yeah, she's a
And Finn
bad
had
version.
a unique story because could have had his redemption arc being a stormtrooper and then learning the ways of the Jedi and fighting for the resistance.
Yeah, I
Yes.
like John. Yeah, I agree. I like John Bodega, and they really did him wrong. I mean, and they did the character wrong too. I was like, oh Lord.
And now,
But
So, I'm not. Yeah, so Star Trek's kind of over to me. Hey, you heard they make a movie based off Community.
oh
They're doing a
really?
finale movie, a TV
I
show.
didn't ever. Really?
They trying to do that's they're trying to do, but Dan Harmon is iffy on whether or not he can get Donald Glover back.
Uh,
All right, so continuing on with this story from Anime News Network, it continues by saying the new season adapts the paranormal liberation war arc of Koei Hirokoshi's original manga, which features an all-out war between heroes and villains. Super Beaver performs the opening theme song, and Kiru, and I'm probably gonna butcher this, and I can already hear you laughing, Phil. Akiyama performs the ending theme sketch. Crunchyroll is streaming the anime as it airs in Japan. The anime's first 13 episode season premiered April 2016. The 25 episode second season premiered April 2017. And the third season premiered in April 2018 and ran for 25 episodes. The fourth season premiered in Japan in October 2019 and aired for 25 episodes. Two-episode original video anime for the franchise streamed in Japan in August 2020, and Funimation and Crunchyroll streamed the episodes. The show's fifth season premiered in Japan on March 2021 and aired for 25 episodes. A new two-episode original video anime screened in Japan on June 16th through 19th. Crunchyroll began streaming episodes on August 1st. So there we have it. Starting on October 15th, which is only 3 short days away, we will get the English dub of My Hero Academia as the sixth season arc begins.
I've never watched. I've never watched it, so I don't really have anything to contribute.
It's good. It's one of those series where you wish the MCU and DC would take note as to how superheroes should be done.
Oh, that's saying a big.
Oh yeah. And it's also the first anime I actually had invested interest in.
Wow. And I heard anime is expensive to buy.
Some of it is.
Merchandise week.
I'm sorry, can we call you Fizz?
Yeah, that's how everyone calls me.
All right. So what did you say, Fizz?
I said that no, that's the merchandise. I don't think anime itself expensive.
Oh, okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on to one of the next stories I have lined up. And got a question for everybody on the panel, everybody in the chat. Are you ready for another Planet of the Apes movie?
Yes.
No.
No.
I'm outnumbered. Are you going to be the tiebreaker, Mike?
I haven't watched any of the new Planet of the Apes movies.
I'm
So
a big fan of the originals. It was okay, the new versions. But after the 3, they're done. Don't need no more.
All right. So this article from Superhero Hype says
Why don't they
Kingdom.
call Kingdom of the Apes? It makes more sense. The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Like that's such a stupid title.
It is, but you know Hollywood, they're full of stupidity.
Like,
or they could have said Planet of the Apes, Kingdom.
They could have chosen any title than the one they actually have chosen. So it goes on to say Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes begins production in Australia. Fans of 20th Century Studios' rebooted Planet of the Apes franchise are now one step closer to revisiting Caesar's World. Deadline brings word that the series' next installment, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, has officially started filming. Production is currently underway at Disney Studios Australia, formerly Fox Studios Australia, in Sydney, New South Wales. The last few weeks have given us several bits of news regarding the sequel, which will be the first Apes entry to hit theaters following the Disney Fox merger of 2019. The studio revealed the film's official title last month, along with the announcement that Freya Allen, the Witcher, had booked a role as one of the lead humans. Since then, the call sheet has expanded to include Peter Macon, Eka Darville, and Kevin Durant, Owen
hey,
Teague.
Kevin Durant, the basketball player.
Kevin Durant, not Kevin Durant.
Durant. Oh.
I'm sorry if it sounded like I said Durant. But the other actor is Owen Teague, previously joined the cast over the summer as the new lead ape, replacing Andy Serkis, Caesar, who perished at the end of War of the Planet of the Apes in 2017. Durand is rumored to be playing an ape villain in the movie. 20th Century also released new concept art for Kingdom last month, featuring an ape riding a horse. But aside from the film taking place many years after War for the Planet of the Apes, plot details are still under wraps. Wes Ball is directing the movie from a screenplay by Rick Jaffa, Amanda Silver, Josh Friedman, and Patrick Azen. Under the terms of its deal with the Australian government, Kingdom is receiving 17 million in Australian currency, about 10 million in US dollars as a token of support. Screen NSW will provide additional financing through its Maiden NSW fund while announcing the start of filming at a press conference. Australian Arts Minister Tony Burke claimed that the production will create more than 400 local jobs. It will also reportedly inject 128 million Australian, 80 million into the Australian economy. And it goes on to say it will be filmed here, and that says a wonderful thing about jobs, creativity in Australia. So it does ask, are you excited about Planet of the Apes?
I think you should go. Hello, the Padawannabe. How are you doing? I think you should go to the chat, Mike. Hey, Jet Sparks. Kathy Skywalker's on fire.
All right. And good welcome, good evening to you, Jet Sparks. Okay, I'm going to coin that. All right.
Good welcome, good evening.
Yeah, good welcome, good evening. There we go. I know.
So do you want my 2 cents, or are you going to let everyone else go first?
Go ahead and give us your 2 cents, man.
Well, look, I actually saw like War for the Planet of the Apes, and I'd say in a way they kind of do. They sort of like really tie the whole the original like films from the 70s really nicely. And we already know that the whole thing that started with like Dawn, even though the Dawn is like the kind of the weird sort of endpoint. I mean, I can understand Dawn should be like the very first movie, then you got Rise. I mean, but Rise was the very first thing with the whole thing with the simian flu, and it's quickly spread around the world and whatnot. So again, these films really tied it. I mean, I don't know really where they can go further with this story. Is this going to explore how the apes become so much more intelligent that they can pretty much speak complete sentences at this point? Is that what they're going to explore in this next movie?
Oh, it was.
Wait, say again.
No, it was. Was speaking full sentences.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know some of the apes still couldn't. I know, but still, it's just the idea that well, I know we only hear them speak like only bits and pieces apart, or you hear them use sign language at first, and that's just you see the roots of how it all took place, and then of course we already know the calamity where the humans fell apart and it muted, and they all became mute. So again, it really ties these movies together. But what was going to happen next? They're also going to show us how they start capturing the humans and start raising them as cattle or something. Whatever humans remain.
How's that interesting?
What?
How's that make for an interesting movie? We're going to have a human main character and he's rebelling?
Yeah, I don't understand how that will really work, because like I said, I feel like they really kind of just tied the films up already as it is. And I mean, sure, when we get to the old movies, which technically all three of the ones that were done by Matt Reeves are basically essentially prequels to the original films.
Exactly. But what are you gonna do now? What? The only way is after that. The only way to go forward is after the original film.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where everything kind of goes. I mean, heck, I know they also have this sort of crazy time travel paradox where they travel back to the 70s in the later films.
I just don't see why there even needs to be another Planet of the Apes movie.
Same here.
Yeah, but then again, this is going to be fully under Disney now because they own 20th Century Fox.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh no,
the mouse is being greedy.
Yeah, they're gonna Disney-fy the apes. Oh my gosh.
The mouse is being greedy.
Yep. Mouse.
Does anybody know the answer to this question? Was there 5 or 6
believe
original?
There's 5 movies if you're talking about the original.
Yeah.
5 movies, and then you have a TV show. There is the TV show.
Yeah, and the odd one out is the one that was made by Tim Burton for no discernible reason.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that one.
Yeah, nobody's ever going to talk about that one. It just doesn't make any lick of sense. And
I
it just
saw it
makes you,
once, and that's all I need to see.
yeah,
I think the three that they had, I think that was good enough. They were
yeah.
nice. That was made for the modern age, and yeah, they should leave it alone for the next 20 years and then come back. I don't think that they need to make a fourth one. I mean, do you see
But
anybody really clamming for more Planet of the Apes?
not only that, what are you even gonna do?
That's it. What is there to do? I guess the apes go and explore and take over the world. Uh, and then they become like how humans were, and I guess they make war upon each other. There you go.
Look at,
That's the
like,
only thing you
there's
can
nothing
do.
else left to go.
You know,
No else left.
there's not really much there. And I would even tell you this: on the original 5 movies, I think the last 2 could have been done without. You know, uh,
Mhm.
I wasn't a fan of the last 2 original Planet of the Apes movies. The one where
I
they
only saw
come,
I only saw the very first one, by the
you
way.
know,
So
the last 2. The fourth one was the doctor and his wife, the ape doctor and his wife. They go back to Earth at the time right after the original astronauts that include Charlton Heston came to their time in Earth. So they go back and then they have this whole experience. And then the humans, of the 60s were like, okay, we're welcoming them. And then they find out how everything went and then they turned on them. And then you get a new version, aka the 5th movie is really about Caesar bringing the humans and the apes together, which was okay. Wasn't great.
Well, they also went back with Brent. They sent another second crew. I think that was I don't know if that was the second movie or the third movie.
That was the third, where they go back, and that's where they blow up. They use the Omega bomb that
to blow up the
So, I mean, like I said, the original one was okay. I mean, the first 3 I loved. The fourth one was eh. The 5th one was they could have done without. And then the TV show, which was totally different than what the movies were. So,
I kind of like the TV show, but then I thought,
what was the
after
show about?
the show is sort of a takeoff on the movies, but they were basically looking to rebuild human civilization. But then after a while, it got to how many times can you fight off the apes attacking you while you're on your quest to find the information to rebuild society, the computers and all kind. I was just like, I could see why it got canceled after one season because it's like y'all said earlier, ain't nowhere to go.
No, there was nothing to it, really. I mean, even though they did bring what's his name, the actor that played well, I forget the name of his the thing he played in the TV show, a similar character, but it wasn't the same from the movie. He was helping the 2 humans along because apparently chimpanzees do not get along with gorillas and orangutans.
Huh.
So there's some information for everybody out there. Like I said, man, I mean, you can take it and leave it. I mean, we got that Mark Wahlberg one that, yeah. I don't even know why they even made that one. But the last 3 ones, especially the second one, the third one that had, the second one that had, Gary Oldman in it. I really liked the second one. Second one was pretty cool. Third one was okay, nothing great. But that one with Gary Oldman, that one was pretty good.
Yeah, and I liked Roddy McDowell because that's the only reason why I watched the Planet of the Apes TV show because he was Galen in it.
Yeah,
and
different character than he played in the original movies.
Yeah,
but right now, I don't see a purpose of the Planet of the Apes. I think Disney's just throwing stuff out there and see what sticks to the wall, so to speak.
Yeah, like I said, the mouse is just being greedy, and they need to constantly pump out stuff in order to keep hold over the movie theaters.
It's still kind of ironic that a lot of their stuff, which should have been in the public domain as of now, but they still want to keep retaining the rights also.
Yeah, but they're doing copyright tricks and trademark tricks. You know how trademark works. If they can keep hold on a Mickey Mouse trademark if they keep making movies. They keep making cartoons about them.
Yeah, or isn't it also too, Fizz? Sometimes if they, because I know I had to look up that what you said before when I was noticing why in the hell are they releasing this, and this, and it's because of the trademark. And then toys, they would sometimes just repackage a toy and set it out so they can keep the trademark. Because I was like, ain't nobody want to buy this.
Exactly.
Well, my opinion is Disney shouldn't have never been allowed to buy 20th Century Fox. I think that pushed them over the edge.
Agreed.
I think the government dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, since now they almost monopoly now.
Yeah, I mean,
but
if I remember correctly, they even had plans on trying to buy MGM. And that definitely will push tip Disney over. Personally, I think they're already there, But,
damn. Then again, holy crap, that would have been crazy. They actually got the rights to films like Red Dawn, of course, the James Bond franchise. Dear God, what Disney would have done with that.
Oh, yeah, right, for real. And you're right. It's practically a monopoly. Well, actually, I think it's already a monopoly. I think they just need to bust them up, but we know that ain't going to happen.
I personally think
it's not going to happen at all. And I do want to say hello to Superfan Adam Shawhan.
We got some coupons for you, Superfan.
Careful, Gap. Don't get Phil started on the coupons.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I forgot to say hello, Jet. What's up, brother?
Hey, how are you doing, Gap?
I'm doing good. I watched your last show replay. That was really good.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was gonna try to play Overwatch 2, but again, like you got to go through like so many hoops to like play online with that game now. They even ask for your damn phone number for crying out loud, dude.
Really? Why?
I have no clue. It's like they really don't want people like they don't want like spoof accounts. Hell, I had to go to like 10 different things to prove I'm not that little prove you're not a human test, and it gives you such a limited time to guess what thing. Like one of the things that they do is like you have two options: the audio test, and then you have like the visual test where they say how many sides add up to 14 or whatever. I mean, you only got like maybe like 10 seconds to answer before it says, "Oh, it tells you you're too slow to answer."
Wow, that's crazy.
Like seriously, you think a robot couldn't
do the math?
Yeah, like seriously, a robot can figure that stuff out easy. A human can't figure it out. It takes time. So,
That's the point. That's the point. Exactly.
Yeah, but I just don't get it though. I mean, so many people who are playing. I mean, I played Overwatch before, but again, it literally is just like it probably looks like just an incremental upgrade to the original game. Hell, I already know they're like printing they're like destroying all the old like Overwatch 1 discs. But I mean, if you still have the physical disc, you could just pop that in and still play Overwatch 2, right?
Yeah, but why do they want to get rid of the?
That doesn't make sense. Wanting to get rid of the original game.
I don't know. I don't care. I never played Overwatch to begin with. The only reason why I know about Overwatch is because one of my characters in my comic book universe I'm trying to develop happens to have the same name as one of the characters in Overwatch, and that was an amazing coincidence for me. And now I gotta change my character's name.
Oh yeah, and also literally have a map that's called Blizzard World, or as I like to call it, Developer Narcissism World.
And real quick, I want to say good evening to Whoopa Troopa.
And speaking of Troopa, this trooper has to go. I'll fade back into the chat. I've got to go feed my crew, and I got to play Old MacDonald on the farm. I got a bunch of animals I got to feed, so I'll just monitor the chat and all that.
All right.
I'll
Thanks for
just
coming
get
on.
into the chat too, and I'll just be at the chat too. I gotta eat food.
All right, brother.
Understood.
Nice to meet you, and I'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Nice rap.
Fizz, it was nice to meet you, man.
I'll be seeing you.
All right. So our next article here comes from comicbook.com, and it says Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 rumored to bring back controversial skin. This is by Tanner Durman, and it says Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 will naturally have its own collection of skins for players to acquire in the form of different operators. But if recent leaks are any indication of what's to come, it looks like one of the more controversial skins from the recent Call of Duty Modern Warfare will be returning. Leaks indicated that the Raze operator will once again be present in Modern Warfare 2, a skin that players will remember all too well as a pay to win claims leveled against it. Okay, it goes on to say, and I said the Raze, I meant the Raws, was first added to Modern Warfare back in 2020 with additional variants released that were usable in that game and in Call of Duty Warzone. Goes on to say, while the base skin wasn't too big of an issue, players may recall that others like the Rook skin, which was a tier 100 reward in the Season 5 Battle Pass, were more contentious. That particular skin was so minimal and dark because of Roz's outfit that it made it so that the players could easily blend into the environment in multiplayer matches to avoid detection. Once players caught wind of the skin's innate advantages, people were naturally keen on using it more, since not using it meant you were sacrificing an advantage others had. Roz's controversial skin was nerfed more than once in the Call of Duty games to brighten it up and make it more visible. So those who recalled those changes and the problematic gameplay that preceded it, the leaks from Twitter user The Ghost of Hope, and that said Roz was returning, might have set off alarms. Of course, if the operator is to be brought back in Modern Warfare 2, one would assume that changes would be made to make it so that we don't run into another pay to win situation again. The skin had to be changed more than once in Modern Warfare due to factors like how it looked on different maps. However, one would also expect that the skin to be kept looking at least somewhat similar to how players remember it. So it remains to be seen how popular or problematic it'll be if it is indeed brought back in Modern Warfare 2. So, my question to everybody on the panel and all of you in the chat is, does this concern you? Did you play Modern Warfare and use the skin and see how they made the changes, or do you just not care?
Well, I didn't play that version of Modern Warfare, but I will say I played games that have done similar. And it's twofold on this. First, it wasn't a mistake. They released the skin. It had certain special abilities that other skins does not have. And you might say to yourself, why would a company do that? Well, twofold. One, of course, Battle Pass is a money grab. Second thing, the most popular thing in any game is skins. This one happened to have, you get a special ability that maybe someone free to play isn't going to get, or the casual player isn't going to get, because you have to complete the battle pass. And I'm pretty sure, I can't speak on it, but other games if you don't carry premium, sometimes that ability doesn't carry on. You see what I'm saying? So it's not only I'm going on some games, yes, I can go get a battle pass, get the skin I want. I don't necessarily have to get premium. And then I can pick and choose, like next season, quote unquote, I don't have to get the battle pass. I might not like what's on there. And I can skip and maybe go to the next one. But some of these companies have gotten wise, MMO wise, and sometimes, not all of them, some handful, you got to have the premium and the battle pass. And the reason being is if you don't have the premium, then your quote unquote special skin doesn't work. So it nulls and voids you're going through that whole battle pass. Another reason why they did it is sometimes, let's say, they do a lot of gamings have what you would call, like they have tournaments and they have special so-called teams, people participating.
Yep.
And some of them teams,
Esports,
they're friendly with the people that are making and producing Modern Warfare. And what do they want to do? They want to help them along. So I'm pretty sure they did ever announce in the very beginning for this costume in the Battle Pass that it had that ability. What happened is somebody along the line revealed to people that if you get this, this is the ability that happens. Every MMO has it. They have their specialty. I play a game, and I'll use an example, World of Tanks. They got buddy within their third year with NVIDIA. Okay? No one really cared. That's their prerogative. But then they start giving NVIDIA people accounts. I would have to go to tech trees or buy premium tanks with real money or use real money to go to the tech tree faster. They were giving the NVIDIA people from day one, everything was open to them for free. And you're like, well, I'm grinding, going through all this. And even with a premium account, here you're just handing them away for nothing. So what was their solution? They shut everybody in that quote unquote NVIDIA clan. You couldn't view their information. You couldn't see what tanks they had. So we're going to hide it, but you're not going to know about it. It's like this. Some games, you can get away with it. Call of Duty is one of them games that, you can play it, have fun with it, but that the high level of cheating, boots, the company knows about it. They don't care. As long as you're buying their battle pass, yeah, I wouldn't put something like that in a battle pass. If I'm putting a skin, it's a skin. Nothing that gives them an extra ability. Extra look is fine. No one cares. But when you start giving extra abilities on the skins, that's a whole different,
ball game.
Yes, thank you. People will buy skins. I mean, I can think of the last one that they had. I'm not sure if it's Call of Duty or Modern Warfare. You had the ability to buy Bruce Willis character from
Talking about his character from Die Hard.
Die Hard, and the other one was Sylvester Stallone's
John McClane.
Rambo. And there was no special abilities with that. You just got the skin. And that's fine. People will buy that. Cosmetics is big in all MMOs. But this one,
even in Star Trek Online, cosmetics are big. Star Trek Online does have that pay to win type of feature in order to get tier 6 ships and a few other trinkets. And real quick, and then I'll let you continue, Phil. I do want to say hello to Kitty Bear, Stephen Paul, and also Spock from Spock's Friday Nights. Welcome, gentlemen.
The Battle Pass idea has been making video MMOs money. Before that, you buy cosmetics here, you buy cosmetics there. Doesn't matter what type of genre the game is. But now when you look at it, there's not a MMO out there that does not have the battle pass idea on. You know, you name the game. If it's let's see, I'm sorry if I draw a blank. Late at night like this, you know, I draw a blank. I play Fallout 76. There's skins, there's cosmetics, there's things you can buy. They give you a lot for free, but there's the battle pass. Anybody can be involved in its battle pass. They call it the scoreboard, but it's the battle pass. But if you get premium, you get plus 35% faster to go through that season of battle pass. And the only reason you would ever do that is you want to go through it quick. Normally a battle pass for them is 90 days. If you're a free-to-play player, you can, if you do it once a day and you only spend 3 hours, you can get it done within 40 days. So you don't need the whole 90 days. You don't need to pay for the premium to go through battle pass quicker, you know. But the only, like I said, there's a few benefits, but you really don't need it. You really don't. You know.
And hello to Leia Rose. No, you don't. I mean, games are expensive enough. And then to have to get these extra add-ons through a battle pass or, in order to get a ship, you have to pay for the ship. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, look, I can kind of understand it having a battle pass somewhat because, I mean, if they're going to go for the free-to-play model, I can understand it. But for a time, yeah, they still did this kind of stuff, even when they still did like the yearly release and just, still pay $60 for the game itself. And on top of the battle pass, they literally were sucking you dry for every penny you were worth. And again, I don't understand why the heck people are even still playing Call of Duty. I know it's popular and it really kind of appeals to the so-called like college dude bro demographic or whatever. But dealing with the Call of Duty fan base, it feels like it's like a very love-hate relationship that people seem to have with that franchise. It's like going back to an abusive ex.
I have a nephew that used to play. Well, both my nephews used to play, but I had one nephew. He was really good. He was so good that he would go through the PvP part, and he only had to use what they call the knife, and he will knife people instead of using the gun. And he was a beast. Some people are a beast. He didn't use no codes. He didn't use no cheats. He didn't use no hacks.
Yeah,
my issue with it though, and he never used a headset on it. Reason being, he was like
those things are very, very toxic. Yeah,
it's very toxic. Even if you're good, somebody comes along, and we're talking about grown men. And when I mean grown men, I'm talking like me and Pacific's age, cussing out because somebody's good in the game.
And you got little kids accusing other people of hacking or anything.
Yep. And then here's the thing. You have kids sometimes from as young as probably 9 years old to probably even in their teens. You really want to hear a grown man cuss. And if you're hearing a grown man cuss, what's a kid going to think? Kid's going to imitate what goes on.
Yeah, exactly. Hell, I mean, even that you still kind of saw it somewhere. I was more of a Halo person. But I mean, sure, people do really toxic stuff in game themselves, but still, I mean, heck, I remember back years ago, it was like the middle of the night, and I heard my dad playing Halo, and he was screaming somebody out online. It was just like, dude, come on, Dad. It's the middle of the night. We're all trying to sleep here. Or at least that was from my grandmother's perspective, from what she heard.
But I would say,
hold on, Bill. We have someone who's requesting permission to come aboard.
Permission to come aboard, sir.
Granted, sir. Granted.
Thanks for the permission, Captain.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Spock's Friday Nights.
Hello.
How's it going? How's it going, Phil? How's it going, Jet?
Good.
I'm good. So, what would you like to add to this along with Phil and Jet and myself?
Just talking about Modern Warfare 2, I see, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, honestly, still kind of new on that news because I own the first remaster that they made for Modern Warfare, and I got it on console and PC because console I first owned it on, I think it was released on the PS4, and then I decided to move it up onto the PC, and then it just got even sweatier, and I just stopped playing it after a while. But I guess it got really popular because when I reinstalled Blizzard to get Overwatch the other day, I saw that they literally rebranded the entire game to just Warzone now, so it's not even called Modern Warfare Remastered, so they're just putting all of the games into one, and I'm assuming that's going to happen with this next Modern Warfare.
Honestly, they really should have went with that whole free-to-play model years ago, honestly. Besides, like, why keep releasing the game?
Or at
like,
least free betas, because they made people even pay to just try out the betas before the game actually released, so, like, World War II.
That's ridiculous.
That annoying game that came out, World War II. My cousin pre-ordered it for me. I told him not to, but he did it anyways. And little did I know that they were doing a pre-beta before. Sorry, not pre-beta, just a beta before the game actually released. And that's done free now. I've noticed for like a lot of games. And for Call of Duty at that time, people had to spend $60 just to have that kind of experience. So they've never been really good at business from what I've seen. The only successful game that they've had, other than, the older Modern Warfares, and I'm speaking newest game, had probably been Black Ops 2, and then that was it.
I played
After
Black
that,
Ops
Ghost
2.
some people say Ghost was good too. The story wasn't that bad, but the multiplayer sucked. After that, Advanced Warfare, we have to thank for it introducing the lot boxes and all that crap. And then we also have Black Ops 3 too, I think, thanks for battle passes. But they weren't, Call of Duty didn't start it, but they kind of triggered it for more games to do it.
Exactly the point. But also, they pretty much like made a worser version. That Titanfall pretty much pioneered the advanced mobility and whatnot. Titanfall did that effortlessly, and Call of Duty, again, they're not trendsetters. They're trend chasers, essentially. Hell, I mean, when Halo was the big thing, everybody was trying to copy Halo, and now everyone's trying to copy everything Call of Duty does now. And now
that's my issue, because it's like I understand that they want to do something that's going to make them money, but at least take a creative spin on it. For example, like battle passes. There's been no creative spin on any of those, except for Fortnite, I guess. But they're kind of the ones who started that, if you think about it. They now allow players to do quests to unlock their tiers and stuff, whatever. I think there should be a bit of a more interesting way instead of just, like, for example, Hot Wheels Unleashed, for some reason, made a battle pass. They could have done a little bit more of an interesting thing where you drive around the city and find the things that you paid for. I don't know, instead of just, like, literally copying what Call of Duty did, which is get 5 headshots in a row and then get 300 XP to just get barely bit of your battle pass done, and you spent $20 for. Oh, you want to get it all done in one go? Just spend $100 more, and you can complete all the tiers. I really think it's the laziest idea. And buying all the tiers is a profitable opportunity, but let's be honest, who does that? Like, who actually buys all of their tiers rather than some crazy whales who do that? Who actually? Nobody. People buy the battle pass and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can say that with Splitgate.
When it comes to MMOs,
Splitgate, yeah,
especially MMOs, the 2016 at the time when right before they start flooding everybody's games with the battle passes, they pretty much MMO wants you to play a Russian model. The Russian model of an MMO is, we're going to give you free to play. But if you want to do things and you want to, keep up with the Joneses, you got to play 8 hours a day.
Oh,
the longer they can get you to play 8 hours a day.
Well, they really want you to create the FOMO. That's a really insane way of introducing the FOMO effect.
They did that because here's how they make money. The advertisement. Like World of Tanks could say, oh, we got people playing 8 hours a day.
Surprise.
Vita, you want to come do something with us? Yeah, come do something with us, because guess what? We have some of the most people online at a given time. That's their idea. So when they came up with most of the Russian MMOs doing that, Armored Warfare, World of Tanks, etc. They came up with even a more brilliant idea, and that's to come at you with the Battle Pass. It's all you cannot play these games today. If you were saying to yourself, I work most of the time, I might have a day off here or there to play a little bit. But if you're a person that's playing 3 hours a day, you're not doing nothing in these MMOs. It's worthless for you to even try.
Yeah.
If you're free to play, you got to do the 8 hours a day. If you're going to buy premium and get into the Battle Pass, you might be able to do it with maybe 5 or 6 hours a day. You miss a day, you're behind. If you're going through a month, let's say they have a Battle Pass for a whole month. You miss a day, you're now behind a day. So now you have to do 16 hours in the next day to make up for the day that you just missed. Because if you don't, you're going to be behind, not just yourself, but you're going to be behind everybody else that's going and competing with you.
I just don't like that method that they're going with, where you are going to be behind if you accidentally lack, a couple days. And anybody should be able to do that. Where if you wanted to take a couple days break without getting on the Fortnite and giving yourself a headache, you should be able to do that. But unfortunately,
that's the way I played
behind
was that way.
You'll be behind like 6 tiers if you do that, which is really dumb.
The way to go around that, Battle Pass.
Yeah, the way to go around that, instead of making the Battle Passes cheap and making people spend hours just to get the worth out of them because they don't want them to get it for that cheap, they want them to actually buy the tiers, because we all know that's what they want them to do. Instead, they could just make the Battle Pass a little bit more expensive for a purchase, so like $20, all right, just to buy the Battle Pass, but everything within it is super easy to just obtain. And I'm talking about like, oh, you don't just log in and get them. They're just like, go around the map and find them. Go look. Just explore. I'm so sick of this. You have to get a certain quest, like, just to get one little certain amount of XP to progress. And a lot of the quests for like Battle Pass are kind of ridiculous. For Hot Wheels, for example, they make you want to do like 3,000 feet drifts, which are really hard to do. And if you miss like even one day off of that Battle Pass, you're kind of screwed. Call of Duty, they're easier. That's just been my experience from first-person games. If it's like get 10 headshots, that's not relatively too hard to do if you're not even trying. But there is just some requests that these quests make you do that are just a little bit too absurd, and you realize that, oh, you're not going to really complete your Battle Pass. You've wasted $10 of your own money just for nothing, just to get like halfway of it done.
Oh, some of
really
them they have the ability where you're behind. Oh, no problem. Go into the cash shop and you can buy advances, for the same. It costs you more than the premium. It costs you more to enter the battle pass. But at that price, you can unlock, let's say it had 30 chapters or 30 segments to one battle pass. Well, for $20, you can unlock 10. Don't worry if you're behind. And don't worry you're not going to make it to the end of the month. But for $20, you can get 10 of them. Yeah. For $60, you can finish the whole season.
It's inflated.
Don't have to worry about it.
It's super inflated. They could fix it just like I said. I'd rather pay a little bit of a hefty amount just in the beginning, and then that's it. That's just so I can guarantee that I'm going to get everything I paid for. Because I don't know how many battle passes. I got 2 this year for Fortnite, and I missed out on completing both of them because honestly I don't play 3 hours straight on a game. I just can't. I don't have that attention span. But I shouldn't have to. $20 or $10 of my own money should like guarantee me to get most of the things I'm paying for. And it's not like I'm getting a model of John Wick in the mail. I'm just paying for a virtual model on the game, for crying out loud.
It's all, no matter what you think of what you're buying, I remind people, even though I do it myself, and I even remind myself, it's digital. Tomorrow the servers can go down, the game can close without any warning, and they don't owe you anything. you're only buying digital. Like if you're buying, if you're, Star Trek, if you're buying a premium ship, it costs you $20, and then the server decides to close 6 months later. I wasted $20 on buying this special ship, and I don't have it anymore. Well, that goes for all of it. Do not be surprised sometimes, and it has happened. Servers just close down, games close, sometimes with warning and sometimes without. And they're not obligated to return your money at all.
No, they're not.
So never put into a game unless you understand going in. The main objective is to have entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay. If the game's entertaining and you're keeping you occupied, you have fun with it, and you
also don't want to be a whale at the same time, because like I've spent, and I'll be honest, I've spent over $150 on STO, and that's when I reached a point where like I'm not buying anything else from this cryptic Zen store. This is just ridiculous because like I'm getting what I spent for $150. I should have got like over 30 ships. They're making a lot of this digital stuff way more than it's actually worth. That's the problem. It's just inflated because whoever says, "Oh, I spent 5 hours making this model in Blender. I think it's worth $600." Go after yourself, bro. I'm sorry. Like anybody could do your job. It's like the easiest thing ever. Anybody can model. You just go to school for it. That's all you gotta do.
Yep. I play a game. Like I said, I play World of Tanks. At Christmas time, they have the Christmas loot boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, $99
boxes too. Oh god.
$99. You should be able to get like, I think 60 boxes, and you can complete the whole entire Christmas thing with $100. Well, for 6 or 7 years, they were fine with it. Last year, to do the same thing, I had to pay $200. And everybody that I talked to that was in my clan, out of my clan, everybody went through the same issue. It is now $200 as opposed to all them other years, $100 to get the same thing out of 60 boxes. You now have to have 120.
That's a ripoff.
Trust me, they knew what they were doing. Like I said, other games they do the same thing. There's a few games out there. Like I said, I play 76, and I can do the scoreboard, which is a battle pass. It's the same thing, but I can be free to play and do it. They give you 90 days. You can do it in 40 days if you do it for 2 hours a day. You can do it. You don't need to have the premium.
Yeah.
There's really no benefit of premium on that. And it's Bethesda does that same with Elder Scrolls. You do not need to buy premium. You do need to buy in Elder Scrolls. You do need to buy the chapters. But once you own the chapters, you own it. It's done. 76 is not that way. Once you buy the game, it's yours. You don't have to worry about any updates or add-ons. It's all included. The only thing is if you want premium. And here's the one thing you get with premium. An extra box to put your stash in. That's it. That's the only benefit. Nothing else.
That's fair to me, because that just sounds like DLCs. And DLCs to me have always been fair. You don't have to buy them, but they're there, and they don't actually... Well, it depends on the game, of course. Some of them do offer a great boost and are pay to play. But like Fallout, for example, you don't really need them. They're just there for cosmetics and extra stuff.
Right.
And a lot of games now have to make it so that, like SWTOR, you have to have a premium account in order to level up fully and to guarantee safety for that account, because I've had friends, 6 of them, who've played SWTOR and had their accounts deleted simply because they were free to play and never got the subscription. They don't take precautions into those accounts. Only the people who pay the subscription. So it's just a little bit of a pattern you see all over a lot of games where there's always a catch to it. And
the one thing they punish KOTOR free-to-play players are people that were premium, but then they lose their premium, and then they go, what do they call it, preferred?
Yeah, preferred.
They punish the credits. And that's the one thing they should never punish you in that game.
No.
You know, I think it's a limit. Let's just say, for sake of argument, it's 200,000 credits. You can make 200,000 credits in 5 minutes, and then that's it. You're done. That's it. You can't buy anything with them 200,000 credits because you need to have something like now, like 200 million. But let's just say, sake of argument, you make 200,000. You can't do anything because the loot you grab, you're going to be overwhelming with weight that you can't sell. They don't really let you destroy everything. So you're pretty much stuck.
Yep. And Jet Sparks, do you have anything you'd like to add before we move on to the next article?
No, nothing else.
All right.
Yeah, that's for me, my too.
Okay. So this next article comes from Cosmic Book News, and it says Superman on the sidelines too long, says Dwayne Johnson. The Rock already has the Black Adam versus Superman scene in his head, along with the next 3 movies. While promoting the upcoming release of Black Adam, Dwayne Johnson teases the return of Superman. The Rock spoke with Jake Hamilton on YouTube and was asked, what does it the fight look like in his mind between Black Adam and Superman, and who would land the first punch? And The Rock goes on to say, I think Black Adam lands the first punch, replies Johnson. Now, I don't know if Black Adam lands the last punch. I grew up a DC boy. I love Superman. I love Superman and still do, clearly. Goes on to say, Jake continues and asks if Johnson can see the fight already in his mind. I can see things so clearly on how the scene looks like, what the scene looks like, what the film looks like, what the next 3 films look like, responds Johnson. Now, whether or not that comes to fruition, that always helps when you have that kind of clarity. The Rock continues, but here is what I do know. Listening to the fans when I was wrestling always led and guided me, just like now. So for that past 10 years, as I was pushing Black Adam up the hill to get made for the past 5, 6, 7 years, I was also listening to the fans at the same time. And it goes on to say, where you have Black Adam, where we will create Black Adam for him to be the most powerful and unstoppable force on the planet, the most powerful and unstoppable force in the entire universe, has been on the sidelines far too long. Okay, just checking something. And thank you for coming on to the panel, Phil. I really appreciate it. Goes on to say that rumors have offered, for a while that Henry Cavill will return as Superman in Black Adam. And I was also told by DC insiders at Comic-Con that Dwayne Johnson and his $7 production team want to take over the DC Films universe, but of course, all that depends on the success of Black Adam. Johnson's former wife and producer business partner, Danny Garcia, also happens to be the manager of Henry Cavill. So we see how Henry can return as Superman. I know DC is holding an exclusive Black Adam screening October 12th in NYC for its Backcal NFT holders. So be careful as spoilers will be coming out early. Goes on to say Black Adam gets released on October 21st, directed by Joam Collet-Serra, and also stars Aldous Hodge as Hawkman and Noah Centino as Adam Smasher, Sarah Shahi as Adriana, Marwan Kenzari as Ishmael, Quintessa Swindell as Cyclone, Bodhi Sabagun, and I do apologize for mispronouncing any of these names, as Eamon, and Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. A recent synopsis teases that in ancient conduct, the slave 10th Adam was gifted the almighty power of the gods, but he used those powers for vengeance and was imprisoned. Now, 5,000 years later, he is freed and once again wields his dark sense of justice onto the world. The description continues, refusing to surrender. 10th Adam is challenged by a team of modern day heroes known as the Justice Society, Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher, and Cyclone, who seek to return him to eternal captivity. So,
Okay.
what do you guys think? Do you think the fact that The Rock's ex-wife, Danny Garcia, is Henry Cavill's agent, and if
I
Black
personally
Adam
don't know much
is
of
successful,
Black Adam.
okay,
Yeah, I don't know much about his character from the comics. I've only
Me
seen
neither.
sketches, and I've seen the animated shows, of course, where he's fought Superman. That's all I know from that
I've
character. If it's gonna go anything like in live action, if they're gonna at all do that, it might be good. It depends on obviously who's gonna be the choreographer. If it's gonna be The Rock, I do have some concern. I know he's a good fighter, but I don't know how well he is at choreographing for a movie. That goes for Henry too. I don't know if he's done that previously. Maybe he has. But I would hope that it would be more like a comic book movie, because just from the teasers I've seen of this Black Adam one, it looks like they're using too much fisheye lens. It looks kind of like a fan film just because of the over contrast. I don't know. It's almost like they've stepped down with these production quality for superhero movies recently, especially when you compare them to like The Return of Superman, in 2005 or something. So it's just, I hope that this movie does good. I have a feeling it's gonna be kind of mediocre. I know that Dwayne Johnson is probably gonna deliver a solid performance. He's, from what I've heard, preparing for this role a long time. But yeah, what were you gonna say, Jet? Sorry.
All I can say is my only exposure to Black Adam was from the first Injustice game. And I know he's more tied to Shazam or Captain Marvel, wherever you want to call him, because that's what he's originally called, at least from what I know. But the thing is, how is this going to connect? How is this the only type of connection we have to this movie and Shazam is the fact that the foster parents of Billy Batson were featured in like the very first trailer. They were featured in it, so I'm not sure how big of a role they're going to be playing in the movie. But other than that, because I'm pretty sure, like I said, he's supposed to be tied to Billy Batson, his adopted sibling, and how much of a role is he going to play in like the next Shazam? I mean, we've seen like we've seen like the first trailer for that, but we have nothing teasing about him that he's in there. I know I know he's supposed to be the seventh sibling, essentially. But we really
and the
don't know.
Padawannabe says Rock can do fight choreography. He has to slow down for most actors. Cavill was good in Mission Impossible. I'm not sure how much was him in
Oh yeah, that's right.
stunt
That scene with
scenes.
him in Mission Impossible, that was a pretty good scene. I forgot about that. I'd feel a lot more comfortable if somebody like Bruce Lee was helping out with the choreography, but unfortunately, we don't have that luxury. Although I think that this movie, if it does happen, Black Adam versus Superman, it obviously might do better than Batman versus Superman. That was not too, it was pretty recent, that movie, like 2017, I believe it was released. That movie was just dumpster, and I hope that they had learned their mistake from that. So if they do this, I'm just scared of another Versus film from this company, if it's especially going to be in the Snyderverse, because that's where Henry belongs. If they're actually planning on reportraying his character, I'll be happy with that, because I actually don't mind Henry as Superman. I just don't like the representation they gave him. Except Man of Steel was a solid, the first 10-20 minutes of the film was pretty solid, I have to admit, until the ending.
I agree with you. I mean, I went and saw
I don't
Man of
like that
Steel
he
when
killed
it first
Zod.
came out, and I enjoyed it for the most part. There were some parts I was nitpicking about, but for the most part, I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah. So if they decide to reportray it, that's my only question. Is this going to be in the Snyderverse? So, I don't know.
You would almost think it would have to be.
Yeah. But my dream is that if they do this movie, it's exactly not obviously because it was an animation, but choreographed like how the TV show did it, which was I believe Justice League Unlimited. I can't remember, but it was a great episode because Shazam also helps Superman in the fight. That's how I'm introduced. Well, they sat there, which to each other obviously, but the Billy Baxter's foster parents, that's a first for me. I didn't know that they were in this trailer. So if that's the case, then they're probably connected. I would be a little bit confused if they didn't connect Black Adam to Shazam, since they're pretty much rivals.
Yeah,
So
exactly. That's the one thing I was getting
really,
from
it
it.
would really be weird if they didn't do that. It's just my only concern is Zack Snyder. I just don't want that style anymore. It kind of, for me at least, I'm not a huge DC fan, but it caused me to stop watching any DC related stuff. It just turned me off. But recently, like, this year I've gotten back into it. It's just I needed a break after all those Snyder films.
Yeah, and
That's
I mean, look,
understandable.
I mean, heck, I saw Batman v Superman at the Palms Hotel in Las Vegas, like back in 2016. And like I will say it before, look, it's okay. I mean, I didn't mind Ben Affleck as Batman a little bit, but I don't really like the motivation behind. I can understand that he may be a little concerned that, yeah, that Superman's a powerful being and he could easily destroy the planet just on his own.
Yeah.
But we already got an idea of how Superman would be if he was evil, and that's called Brightburn.
Brightburn. Yeah, good movie. A scary movie.
But the thing is, the one biggest thing I still hate, and I know some movies they kind of like I think Justice League sort of like still set it up a little bit, I think, but I don't think it's, and given where we are now, I think it's really going anywhere, is the whole idea of the Legion of Doom, and it's going to be led by Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg, which, again, I do not buy him as Lex Luthor, but this is supposed to be Lex Luthor's son, Lex Luthor Jr., just like...
Yeah. Not that it makes it better, but, you know, I understand, because I totally forgot about that until recently, because they still haven't followed up on that end credit with Deadshot and everything, so... not Deadshot. I forget his name.
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke, yeah. So it's just I wonder where they're gonna go with that, and I really don't care to see where Lex Luthor Jr. goes. I think the best Lex Luthor we got live action was 2005 Superman.
Oh, it's Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey, yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of strange how much times have really changed since then.
Seriously, and yeah. And
help! I was giving him his basement. Help me!
I was actually hoping to rather see the Nicolas Cage Superman compared to this one. Okay.
I know you're looking on that one.
That one I can't believe was actually going to happen. I'm actually happy they scrubbed that.
Yeah, there was a time they were considering it.
Superman with
there was a time they were preparing for a third Michael Keaton Batman movie. It's too bad we never got that.
That would have liked to have seen.
All right, so continuing with comic book flair, comic book movie subjects, we go to our last story of the evening.
Sorry to cut you off. I just read what Padawannabe said. That's a great idea. He really should, instead of hurting himself constantly. Jackie Chan, if anybody knows some of the best choreography.
He could definitely coordinate some of the best fights we've ever seen on screen. I mean, he kept doing it until he couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
All right, so this article comes from Bounty in the Comics, and it says Thor: Love and Thunder star Christian Bale says Marvel's over-reliance on green screens made filming feel like a definition of monotony.
Oh boy, yeah.
So he knows it. He all right, cool. So he notices it too. They're, like I said, oversaturating it with CGI. Too much CGI.
And good evening, Bucky Icon. How are you doing this evening? Bucky says, can't stay, gotta wrestle toddler to bed, but I figured I'd drop in and leave a like. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Don't be a stranger.
Exactly.
So the article goes on to say it seems that it's not just fans who have found themselves, excuse me, exhausted with the studio's overuse of green screens in their films, as Thor Love and Thunder star Christian Bale recently detailed how his time on set of the Marvel film was the definition of monotony. Goes on to say, Bell, whose talents were criminally wasted in the Taika Waititi helmed embarrassment as the MCU butchered, pun intended, version of Gore the Godslayer, spoke to his experience filming the Marvel Cinematic Universe's latest entry during a cover story interview for GQ's November issue. Goes on to say, the storied actor first broached the topic of the film after being asked by the outlet's senior staff writer Zach Baron what drew him to Thor Love and Thunder, to which Bell recalled, I was like, this looks like an intriguing character. I might be able to do something with this. Who knows? And
I mean, he looks
I'd like,
cool. I remember that
yeah,
was one comment I got from my friends when they saw. I haven't seen the movie, but a lot. I don't care it to be spoiled. A lot of them saw this and they said that he was pretty much the most interesting character in the entire movie. And that was it. I mean, he's a
that's what
great
I've
actor.
heard from people who watched it. I mean, I really have no intention on watching it.
Me neither. It just didn't drag me like Ragnarok did. Ragnarok was a great film. I've rewatched that 100 times, and even though that you can notice all of the CGI in that movie, it at the time it was like acceptable, so it works. But I couldn't take another Ragnarok film. I think one's enough. There's a point where you start making the same thing 100 times. People start noticing the flaws. So like
Uh,
you make an Iron Man movie 30 times, people are going to see that you're using too much green screen. That's basically what's happening with Marvel, making too many superhero movies. Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's something like it depends on preference, of course. Some people like this, fantasy looking style, and some like the practical style that the Christopher Nolan Batman movies did, or the recent Batman movie did. So I prefer that. It just looks more real. I can immerse myself into it more. I can even get a feeling, and this is funny, especially when you're at the theaters. You get a sense of 4D, which is like in a way of like you smell or you feel the picture. And like when I was watching the Batman in theaters with the rain and everything, it actually felt like a very cold scene. I don't know how to explain it, but they did a really good job with cinematography, and I think a lot of movies are lacking in that regard now.
they
Cinematography
are. I
is
mean,
hard, especially people who make it. It's hard to hire those people.
I mean, even current Star Trek series, yeah, and they might have a set here or there, but a lot of that's filmed on a green screen or a blue screen.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
None of them are prop models like the Orville. Orville actually uses like a model and puts it on a green screen. Not all of it is CGI'd. They add stuff, they layer it. The smartest
Hmm.
way a movie can do CGI is by layering it. You layer it on top of something that's already pre existing, it looks real. You just create it like most Marvel movies are with Loki and everything. They make an entire cityscape that's not even existent. It looks so fake.
Well, even one of the episodes that we had watched of the Orville this past season, you could tell that it was a combination of model and CGI, but the way they did it, it looked excellent.
Yep, you're
They
right on
took
the
their
point.
time. All right. So this article continues to say that Bill said, and I like Ragnarok, he continued. I took my son to see Ragnarok. He was climbing like a monkey all across the seats. And then he was like, oh, I've had enough now. Let's get on. I was like, no, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait. I was just like, I want to finish it. And then it goes on to say, Barron then inquired as to how Bell specifically felt about his experience with such excessive green screening acting, prompting the actor to assert, that's the first time I've done that. I mean, the definition of monotony. It goes on to say in this quote, "You've got good people," he said. "You've got other actors who are far more experienced at that than me."
Not true. I wonder who he's referring to. He was probably the most experienced actor on that set.
Yeah. Goes on to say, "Can you differentiate one day from the next?" No, absolutely not. You have no idea what to do. I couldn't even differentiate one stage from the next. They keep saying you're on stage 3, mimicked Bell. Well, it's like, which one is that? The blue one? They're like, yeah, but you're on stage 7. Which one is that? The blue one? I was like, where? However, Bear would clarify that despite this criticism, he was a huge fan of not only the Thor films, but superhero films in general. A fact that comes as a little surprise from the man who played one of the most iconic versions of Batman ever put to film. Taking issue
Yeah.
with what he mistakenly thought was Baron's question as being presented with a sentiment of, "What the F did you do to Thor? Did you do Thor for?" The actor would subsequently apologize before explaining, "I love those films. I love them. There's a mood and a time for every single one," he concluded. "And I have a firm belief that every single kind of film can be done brilliantly." Bell's latest film, Amsterdam, is now in theaters.
I like so what he addressed in the end is also kind of what Stephen Paul said in chat right now. For like him, the story comes first. He prefers not watching a good-looking movie, but with a good-looking story. So for me, that kind of is Big Trouble in Little China, and I know it's an old movie, but visually, it's very
It's a great
cheesy.
movie.
No, don't get me wrong. It's visually, it's very cheesy. You have to agree there, but it's still a very good movie. So like the writing is what carries it. I agree with Steven. You get those, you
Yeah.
know, you get those instances where you get a really bad looking movie, but the story just keeps you in there. I wouldn't give this Thor movie that much credit though.
Yeah,
It's
exactly, because it seems to be all spectacle now.
yeah. But yeah, I agree with Christian on that. You know, any movie can be done brilliantly. You just need to have a passionate crew behind it and that they actually have a direction of what they want to do. Sometimes no direction can be fun too, but I think for something a lot of people are expecting, it's best to have a direction. If you're making a brand new original movie, then yeah, you don't need a direction. You can be random with it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make a tangent about Taika Waititi, or as I like to call him, Taco What titties. Yeah, like especially like I know when he's doing his own stuff, it can be good, but the thing is when he's working in a pre-established universe, I know he's gonna put his own spin on things, but even then, it's kind of crazy. I know that he's worked with Ryan Reynolds before with Green Lantern, which nobody ever wants to talk about again. I almost completely
Not
forgot it
even
was
Ryan
him.
Reynolds.
Yeah, exactly. But in Free Guy, he comes off as like some stupid Instagram influencer who just forgot he became irrelevant over 20 years ago. He just looks like that. He just comes off as just grating as hell in that whole movie.
Yeah, his character, blue shirt guy.
No, I'm talking about the character Taika Waititi plays, that Antoine guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
I shared that.
Yeah, the only joke I actually found funny from him was like the whole Albuquerque boiled turkey joke he made. That's the only joke I found funny. Everything else about him was just grating.
And I think what it is too, especially now with Marvel movies, is there's always a joke inserted in there. It's not like they were before when the movies were produced by Marvel Studios and Paramount, and it would be serious and maybe a joke here and there.
Yeah, you gotta balance everything out. But if it's nothing but comedy, and of course, heck, we already know the whole infamous "you flick too hard" scene, which literally, I think I got DM'd by somebody on Twitter, and this was obviously this is a lady who DM'd me, and literally just like calling me out for saying, but that was just basically me pointing out the double standard and agreeing with that double standard that meant that stop objectifying women, and yet you're doing it to a man because it's supposed to be because it equals comedy. And I even pointed that out, but she literally responded with, "Yeah, sorry, I was too busy objectifying Chris Hemsworth. Goodbye forever." It's like that last part was hyperbole, but you kind of get the point.
Yeah.
She literally admitted to objectifying him. And yeah, again, it only shows that, yeah, when it's happening to them, when you're on the receiving end of it, yeah, it's not. But as she said, anybody it's happening to, it should still be deemed as like, not something that should be done. It's just not. It's not funny, and it's humiliating, and it's not supposed to be funny at all.
Yeah. I kind of miss that subtle humor that Marvel movies used to have, and I'm talking specifically like Iron Man 1 and 2, where it was like the movie, the plot is taken very seriously. You have like your epic dun, 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 music for each transition, so it doesn't feel like a spoof like most of the Marvel movies that they're making now, which just don't have that. They have like a lot of like, especially She-Hulk. It's such a comedy, and it's like, I understand what the comic book was like, but she was also badass, don't get that wrong. I'm not going to feel that kind of how do I say, I'm not going to feel that same way for the live action character simply because of how much she's not feeling like she's taking it seriously. The plot doesn't feel like it's taking itself seriously, and if she did get in a fight, I feel like she would just celebrate some really cringy way after. I'm not interested to see that.
And
sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that I like when it's like almost intellectual humor where you didn't expect the joke to pop in there, but it just did. Like Robert Downey Jr., he's suffering like a really bad defeat, and then Penny comes to cheer him up, and then he pops a joke. It's like you didn't expect that, but it really broke the tension, and it actually is.
And that's kind of how you
good.
cleverly do it. But nowadays, it's like the other thing. I didn't watch the show, and I refused never to watch it because, of course, you're never going to watch it because you're Emma Sanders. Well, guess what? Another thing, yeah, I guess I am. Maybe I am. But the whole thing is, her character is, as far as I can tell, is also inconsistent as well. Like, there's literally episodes where she's just back to being her normal self again. It's just like,
that's weird. Okay.
Yeah, and she becomes a dork
in the comics, but I don't know if she was taken this lightheartedly in the comic books either, because there's a reason that she has like a lot of how do I say it, strong-hearted fans, people who've been diehard fans since the comic books, who actually I talk with sometimes on my Discord, who shit on this show repetitively because of how much it's not accurate to the actual character's attitude. And yes, they got the sex part right, but that's it. That's literally all they got right. So it's just, it comes to the case of if they're going to take that time to make them accurate, or if they're going to take that time to put in that kind of storytelling that the first couple Iron Man movies had. They probably don't want to, because they're already making a lot of money and they don't see a need to do that. They don't see a need to make a star hit movie again. No Way Home was probably their last one that they took a little bit seriously, because Tobey Maguire and Andrew were involved, and they couldn't afford to mess up those characters. But
with No Way Home, Spock, that was a co-production between Marvel Studios and Sony, and you could tell the Sony parts and you could tell the Marvel Studio parts. Once the Marvel Studio parts were done. Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying?
I was saying once the Marvel Studio sections were done, you could tell when it was fully Sony and not Marvel, which made the movie better.
It did. I honestly think Sony, they're not perfect either, but they should be a top command right now when it comes to making superhero movies, especially of Marvel. I know that they majority own Spider-Man, not much of the others, but they could still, how do I say it, outshine the Marvel, well, at least Disney Marvel right now, by making a brand new Spider-Man universe if they really wanted to. Would they? it would cost a lot of money and it would be very risky because after they put in all that money for a potential new Spider-Man movie, what if it flops? So they're not too sure about taking risks like that, but they could easily outshine Disney Marvel because a lot of the movies that are coming under them are just like I say, for example, Moon Knight. I did not like that show. I only liked some parts of that show, and that was it. But when he started going to the afterlife and then talking to the hippo, I'm like, oh, this is getting ridiculous. This is just becoming silly. And I understand that it's supposed to be very mythical and fantasy, but couldn't they take it a little bit seriously? Like, even though she's a giant hippo, couldn't she be a little bit, I don't know, intimidating, terrifying, or something? Like, they played it off as her being like a Pixar character, and that's what they do with a majority of these movies now, is that they have some weird, lighthearted humor and like a punchline inserted every 2 minutes. Like, what's her name? Jane, now being the new Thor. There was like a trailer being released, and she had some phrase in it. I forget. It's female Thor to you, or something like that. I forgot what the line was.
Yeah. Once again, being more condescending toward
Yeah,
male characters, and not to mention male audiences. But they don't care because in their minds, they think all guys are very single-minded and dim-witted. And this is what we've been seing in media for the last 7 years. And now they're
Aren't we?
pretty much.
I'm being funny.
But I know one thing. No one's got a woman ain't got to go into a septic. Most women ain't got to go into a septic tank. I know that for sure. Especially all those prissy Instagram chicks that like post selfies all day. They would never want to go near even scrubbing a toilet or anything. I don't even think when they live on their own they don't even do that. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't hang around that crowd.
You know, I mean, I've just been looking at a whole bunch of one of those red pill content stuff.
For me, I miss a character that makes sense, and I say, "Oh shit, kick her ass! Come on, kick his ass!" Like, I'm actually rooting for the character behind the screen, and I feel some kind of connection. For me, that was Ellen Ripley, the last badass female character I can think of.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean,
I don't know anybody else.
And
what about Sarah Connor?
Yes, that's
especially in Terminator 2.
To me, Ellen wins more points over Sarah, but Sarah Connor's cool too.
Yeah, I know, because she really does like sort of embody the whole. And she, in the first movie, she didn't really need to try. She just had to be more clever about things. And yeah, women don't need to actually don't really entirely need to match somebody blow for blow. Yeah. But of course, we have people out there that want to believe that. We can do anything. Heck, we can easily kick the crap out of a guy. The only way you could do that is be aimed.
We could easily wield Mjolnir. We can easily be female Thor, no problem. Because hey, we're lucky. It was even done in the comics. So let's push our agenda even further. You know, it's like now we actually have a literal escort because they're using female comic books that were made in the past as like escorts to make their own shows now. So like, hey, this is a good platform. You know, we're not going to do it exactly like how the comic book did in the 80s because it was so objectified and She-Hulk was too sexy for the time. So let's make it, you know, different. Let's put our own spin on it. It's like, no, we don't want your own spin. We want the original spin, the spin that made us buy the comic book from the bookstore and keep it in our bookshelf to today. Like, we don't care about what spin you're going to throw on it. That's just the honest truth. If they're going to make Marvel movies, it better be a page-by-page exacto from the comic books into live action format. I mean, hell, mangas are doing that. That's why they're a lot more successful than Marvel movies. So
exactly. All right, gentlemen, we're nearing the top of the hour. That means it's time to wrap up tonight's edition of Pop Talk. Is there anything that you guys would like to promote?
Subscribe to PACIFIC414. Do it right now.
Yes. But me, if I can say something, like I said, for me, since it is the month of October, I will be doing my own open mic series on every Saturday for the month of October. And I mean, it's the same one, Talking Pinheads, but since it's got a Halloween spin out called Talking Xenobites, and again, it's use that same thing with Pinhead, that same joke. And of course, I also have another thing I do on Twitch called Friday Night Biohazard, where I'm playing Left 4 Dead 2. And it's all being hosted by this fellow here you see on screen, Dr. Ian Vandenberg, a mad plague doctor from the Dark Ages.
Those Matt's voice scared the crap out of me.
Sorry, yeah, I know. I can't. Yeah, just breaking through the character. I just came up with the idea for the character when I got this Plague Doctor costume like 2 years ago.
Sick.
Huh?
It's sick. Looks awesome, despite the fact that it scares me. It's awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just something really cool I wanted to just come up with. And I mean, I did the same thing last year with Killing Floor 2. And like I said, if I'm doing Left 4 Dead 2, I'm only doing it on Twitch because that's the only place I can stream directly. That's the only platform I can stream directly from my Xbox from. So check that out every Friday night around like say 5 or 6 o'clock Central Time. And my open mic will be
I'll go and subscribe you.
Yeah, and my open mic happens around 5 p.m. on Saturday. So you got 2 things to look forward to for all this wonderful, spooktacular month of October. Indeed.
Yes. And Spock.
I have nothing much. I mean, I have that Return of Bajor thing still happening, and I'm uploading a tutorial / breakdown video of the event this Friday, just for people who don't know how to sign up or are interested in signing up. And again, if you join and you win, you get 20 master keys. They're all yours. I'm planning on having better prizes in the future, like a promotional T6 box or whatever, just something better than just 20 keys, because 20 keys was all I could offer, but it's enough to get you lucky maybe with a T6 ship if you happen to get one. But yeah, that's what we got coming up next month on the 23rd. So Bajor versus Cardassia, be there or be square.
Well, the Cardassians are going to win, don't you? We are more cunning
You can try.
than the Bajorans.
You can try.
Oh,
but you're
it
not
won't
with
be an
Prophet.
effort of trying. We will succeed. We have the superior
You're not
forces,
that plain and simple.
superior
Okay?
intellect. And don't you ever mention Elam Garrick. That's my attempt at being a Cardassian.
That's good. That actually sounds good, like a Cardassian. So I'm gonna need you also, guys, for everyone watching. Mike is going to be a Klingon in my next episode for the episodic series, which is still in production. I was hoping to have it up within this year, but a lot of complications arose with the voice actors. So we finally got all that sorted out. So now I'm finally able to finish it, and Mike himself will be a Klingon voicing on it. So, yeah.
And there's only one thing I have to say about that.
Glory to you and your house.
And
yeah, I'll check out the Imperfects, Steven.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna give it a chance, give it a fair shake. I'm not just gonna sit there and go, "Oh, it's the opening credits. The show sucks." No. I'm not gonna
trust
do
the
that.
judgment of anybody watching PACIFIC414, so I will check it out.
I'm gonna give it a shot. And guess who's showing up just as we're getting ready to wrap up? I'll let you all know.
Uh-oh.
You all know him. You all love him. But of course, I gotta play this clip.
What the hell are you talking about? Oh, my guidance counselor says that certain words perpetuate this sexist worldview that could trigger...
Quiet! From now on, you won't listen to your guidance counselor. You're going to listen to me. Is that understood?
Yeah, sensei.
Welcome to the show as we're just about to wrap up, bro.
Oh man, yeah. I was surprised you guys were still on. So I what's up, guys? I was surprised you guys are still on. So
you missed it, man. We were playing Elite Force. We were asking where you were at.
Elite Force, really?
No, I'm kidding.
No, come on.
We wouldn't
Hold
do
on
that.
a minute. I don't believe you, Spock. Yes, a Klingon, dude. I think Michael.
This is
Bay
also
could
another
Klingon.
fellow Klingon.
Yes. We've a lot of projects going on. And we lost Jet. Okay.
Good night, Jet Sparks.
All right,
Thank you
Jet.
for being
Good night,
on,
man.
brother.
It was nice meeting you, Jet. Good night, buddy.
We'll talk again soon, dude. Go Power Rangers or whatever. Yeah.
Wow, dude.
I know, but he's a big Power Rangers guy.
Yeah, well, so is common sense.
Yes, I remember. I've learned more about Power Rangers from both of them than I ever thought I would. It's not a bad
All right, I want you to cut to 4 minutes and 42 seconds for this one. This is me whenever we talk about another woke article.
Oh boy. Oh, man.
Okay.
Well,
4 minutes and 42 seconds.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
worries.
I hope I don't regret this.
Gap is so funny. You late, Cash. I know, Gap. Shh.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and play this clip real
This
quick.
is us whenever they release a new article that's woke.
All right. Let me just go ahead and share the screen. Okay. Is that it? Yes, that is it. Okay, here we go.
All right. Oh boy.
Please! Please! No!
That's it. Oh man, I don't know if you actually guys want to watch this. It's really bad.
That's Tyrese Gibson from the Fast and the Furious, isn't it? And some other stuff. Yeah, it is.
It is. It's so funny.
It is because he was also in the Transformers live action movies.
No!
What the?
I guess this is also still
What
valid.
the? Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I get the please no. I mean, I think we all say that when we see an article.
Well,
anyway,
yeah, the rest of that wasn't meant to be watched because I've never personally fully watched it. I've just seen the meme from that clip.
I sent some stuff to Spock because he's always interested in
man.
these things. So I just was like, "Hey, Spock, check it out." What the hell?
Yeah, the last one you sent me was just hilarious. Gotham
Yes.
Knights.
See you later, Kitty Bear.
Later,
See ya,
man.
Steven.
That's right. Oh man.
So, Cash,
Yeah.
how's your day been? How's your night been?
Pretty good. I'm just trying to get back to sleeping better, so we'll see how it goes. When I'm more awake, then I want to do more, of course. When I'm not, I just bleh. But of course, my Dodgers are on right now, and it's 3-3. So Trey Turner just hit a home run to tie it. So in the last inning, the Dodgers have 2 on with 1 out. So.
And in case anybody is wondering, Cash is talking about the National League Division Series between the San Diego Padres and Los Angeles Dodgers. You also have the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies. You have the Seattle Mariners and Houston Astros, and the Cleveland Guardians, formerly known as the Cleveland Indians, versus the New York Yankees.
And I'm going to call them the Indians, and I don't really care what people think because they can go screw off.
I don't know shit about baseball, but I hope they both make a lot of money.
I also recently did see the 3rd season of Picard, and what I was told by one of my friends is that you don't have to watch season 1 and 2. Well, the trailer popped up, so I did watch it. One of my friends.
Oh, Cash.
Does that mean I'm going to watch it? I don't know. I don't think so. No, I don't have Paramount Plus, so it doesn't matter.
I didn't see it yet.
I watched the trailer, and I have to say it looks pretty good. Does that mean I'm going to go and jump and watch it? I don't know. I haven't even watched House of Dragons.
I don't expect you to.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really. There was only that
I
one
don't know
episode
what
that
they're
Crit showed
doing.
me of Picard. So, but they'll bring back the cast, and obviously they brought back a lot of the cast, and they brought back some old
Yeah,
characters. And
I don't know what they're doing, man. I didn't even see it. Matt
Cash.
Riskin sent it. I haven't seen
Cash.
Matt Riskin
There's
sent it and a couple
there's
of
only
others.
one thing I gotta say to you about Picard, and you
Okay.
actually liking what you saw.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
That, and of course, Cash.
You lied to yourself, Mike. You lied to look. I mean, I found out on another stream the other day that somebody liked She-Hulk, and that was a really hard pill to swallow. And his wife, but it's okay. People like what they like, but that's it.
I really don't care anymore what people like. I'm tired of the fact that it's being made. Anyone can like anything. That's not a
Yeah.
problem. I've talked to people who've liked, paintings you never even seen hung in museums. So
Yep.
I know how people have some weird taste, but that's not what bothers me. It's the fact that they're doing this way too late. And it's not only just that, it's like a cry for help is how I see it, because I don't know what they're doing. And even from all of the I know like trust your articles is like the most biased thing. All of them are going to be super biased, but most from the articles I've read, and they're always just like random, even the ones that take the side of the new shows say that show has no direction. So it's weird that they're bringing back all of the cast now. Also weird that they're showing a Star Trek Online ship in the game in the show.
Yeah,
And
have you seen the render for that ship? Star Trek Online looks better than that render.
Yeah, I have to agree. A lot of people like the Picard version. I mean, Odyssey is Odyssey to me. I thought it was interesting. I felt the guy like who is celebrating it. I can understand why he'd be celebrating it. Personally, if I was a guy who made a Star Trek ship and it ended up on one of these shows, I wouldn't be too happy. But yeah, they'd probably pay me. I don't think I'd accept it. I wouldn't accept money from the new shows. I just wouldn't, because
Well,
I
yeah.
it's just the new show, the new season. From what I hear, it sounds like a lot of people are liking it because they brought back the old characters. That doesn't mean it's going to be good though. So I'm curious what they're going to do this time. It's probably going to be time travel. I'm calling it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I've only seen one full episode of Picard and stuff. People like it, that's fine. I have friends that I know who like it. That's fine. I've just never really gotten into it. Did I think the trailer looked pretty good because it was nice to see the old cast back? Sure. Does it mean I'm gonna watch it? I don't know.
Not
I don't have
necessarily.
Paramount Plus, so
Yeah. For me, it's going to sound very. Maybe a lot of people do share this, but for me, it wasn't good to see the cast back because it's always good that they're doing well in real life, but they were brought for the wrong opportunity, and I don't like that they were brought into this universe because one, they're gonna have to deal with everything that's been brought up from season one, and I've seen the entirety of season one of Picard and just stopped right there, and I've seen all the first 3 seasons of Discovery. The only shows I haven't seen are Lower Decks, Prodigy, and Strange New Worlds, and I refuse to watch them. But sorry, I lost my train of thought.
yeah, and no, it's just like a lot of these shows. Like I am not happy where Marvel is going right now. It's just freaking Adam. I'm not happy with a lot of these Marvel shows are going right now. They're just way too goofy for me. And so when people tell me that they enjoy She-Hulk, I mean, good for them. All I can say, I can't see the appeal for myself. I just can't. And especially looking into the lore of a lot of this stuff, I can't do it.
I like I was saying earlier, and it wasn't like to shut you down because I was like saying, I really don't care what people think. The reason I say that is because somebody could tell me they love Star Trek Discovery, and I'll be like, okay, I don't. And that would be what I would say in response. But I really despise the ones who really attempt to try and change your mind. And I mean, like, well,
yeah.
why not? Why don't you like it?
Yeah.
Well, why don't we try and rewatch the entire season together and you might change? No, I don't want to go through that. It's just like I hate those persistent people who won't take no for an answer. It's like, don't you like? Is it not possible within your realm that somebody can dislike this show?
Exactly.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm not the
it's
only one.
absolutely possible that
Well,
somebody can dislike the show, just like it's possible for somebody to like the show and want to cover it for their YouTube channel, and that's perfectly fine. We should all be able to do whatever we want for our YouTube channel, whatever makes us happy, and you know, if you
Yeah.
don't like what somebody's covering on their channel, move on.
Exactly. I
Yeah,
agree.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Basically, is if you obviously share differences and opinions, why try to make such a fuss of an argument about it? And that's what a lot of mature people who are Trekkies, they usually take that approach. So like I'm friends with some Star Trek Online YouTubers who 100% love the new shows, and I still have good conversations with them. It's just that we're able to put that past us and talk about nerdy things within the universe without having to come to an argument. So it's like a lot of I like to call them Kurtzman discography fanboys will literally go on a shit blast raid on you if you say one, like I said, one bad thing about Captain Kirk that they were casting for the new Strange New Worlds, and that got quoted by another sub thread, which got like 30 more replies saying I was retarded, and I was like, okay, this is this is ridiculous.
Oh well, people are easily on the attack. I mean,
People,
they're easily
people are
offended is more
nasty.
like it.
People are mean.
No, they're
and
more.
that's
They're
fine.
easily offended. They're easily offended is more like it. If somebody came out on Twitter that had a pretty big following and a pretty good voice in the community, Trek community speaking, and said, "Oh, I don't like the cast of Charlie Burke and Yorville," I'm not gonna shit raid that guy.
Right.
I don't think.
Right.
I don't think
Exactly.
many others would either, because like a
No,
lot
dude.
majority of like, I have to say this doesn't go for everybody, but a lot of fans who like science fiction and understand the higher qualities of it, and especially the message of it, don't resort to stuff like that. It's just that's childish games that even Star Trek teaches us not to do.
Well, yeah, and
What's up, Loki?
And I do want to say hello to Loki's Morning Mischief. Brother, if you want to hop on, you're more than welcome. We're in extra innings.
Yeah, I guess we are. Do we need to quit? Even though I can't.
We're in extra innings. I'm allowing the extra time.
All right. No, I can't, Spock. It's just like with a lot of the gaming, like especially the way you've grown up with stuff. And so, like Crit, for example, he shows me Overwatch 2, and I keep asking the same question. Why do I want to play this? This game is obviously a mess. Why would I want to try this? The new characters they added doesn't add much to the game. Yes, they have new maps, great. But why do they need an Overwatch 2? And are we actually going to get a campaign that would actually be worth it? And why are they so slow on things that we've seen in the past? So when someone's like, "Oh, you got to try it," I said, "Well, let's see. I've seen the trailer, so why do I want to try this?" Or why do I
Exactly.
want to try
That's
it
the part
after
that
I see
bugs me the
gameplay?
most. It's like I understand when they're trying to like tell you, "Oh, you should try it out" if you don't have any knowledge on it. But when you tell them like, "Oh, I've seen the trailer, I've seen the gameplay, I'm not impressed by it." "Oh, bro, you gotta try it, bro. You gotta try it." It's like your opinion doesn't make any sense.
Telling us that, and it's fine what people are watching. If they're enjoying a lot of this entertainment, I have no issues with that. I don't. I just find it funny that a lot of entertainment is still going in a bad direction. I'm waiting more for when there's going to be better entertainment, where we're not going to have these stupid microtransaction in games that don't need them, where we're not going to have always online connection in games we don't need them. This stuff hinders progress, that because it's happened before. Diablo 3, and I bought Diablo 3 because there was a collector's edition and I had never owned Diablo 2. When you got to the always online thing, it was like, yeah, it worked for me, but a lot of people had problems. They had lag, they had this. And if the whole situation of that works so well, then why on consoles did people have an option? That was a shot in the face to PC gamers, and those are the kind of things I do not appreciate. So I don't understand why people keep telling me that these companies, where like Blizzard and all that they're going in a great direction when they're not. When Blizzard was making a lot of money, they had StarCraft.
I don't want
they
to
had
interrupt
Warcraft.
you, but like I have to seriously have a discussion with those people if they think they're going in the right direction, because there was actually a crap storm. I don't usually use Twitter to look at what everybody else is saying unless it's something I was mentioned in, but I was playing their new released game, Overwatch 2, and that's on Blizzard.
Oversnatch too, right?
Something I guess happened that caused the entire servers to just get DDoSed. And that happens, I guess, but this was down for like a solid hour, maybe more, and people were really just Twitter has happiest service, like or a ham running in cage saying that's their servers trying to get back up.
Yeah. It's just, how can any company that used to always come out with quality stuff have gaming companies? So you got the Activision thing that's still a mess with Microsoft. You have all these situations. All you have to do is if you're going to charge $60 for a game, and I have to say, for me personally, I don't find a lot of these games even worth $60. I'll probably get them for
That's because they're not, Cass.
I just don't. And I'm just waiting for them to stop doing this stuff. And there is some ugly, in my opinion, ugly ass art out there. And the way that they added this character I saw for Bayonetta 3, and it was like I read a comment when somebody said, "Wow, I think this woman has daddy issues," and I couldn't stop laughing. She's got this like blue lipstick, and she's got this short hair, and I kept looking. I'm like, yeah, the combat looks fun with this character, but why do I care about this character? So yeah, it's just crazy. I just don't understand still why we have to keep going this direction. I don't understand why Gotham Knights needs to have a Barbara Gordon whose voice does not sound like Barbara Gordon. I don't understand that. I don't think it works. Her voice just doesn't work. But how dare you criticize these things? And as I showed you, Spock, there always has to be some kind of BS tied to these games. Gotham Knights, especially lately, has looked better. Does that mean it's $60 worth it, though? Is it worth that money? I don't know. I'm not sure. You can't block in this game.
To me,
yet
it
in the old
strikes me
Arkham,
as like a $30 game.
Yeah, yep. That's how I feel too. So when people,
to be a bit honest with, really, not every game that's new means it has to be $60. It's ridiculous because
right.
And now it's like, even like, especially if we're talking about Battlefield, a new Battlefield game would be like $80 or $100. So it's just goes even higher. And those games aren't really. And I played the new Battlefields; they're not worth $60.
No, they're not. They're not worth it. And anything that's shown, and as we, we're watching it before. Yeah, I agree, Loki. It's not. It's like you just keep either wanting to stab yourself in the foot, or you just, or you just. There's still going to be things that come out, but it's just like, oh, I'm going to buy this for $70. Well, why are you telling me that any of these new console games are worth $70 of content? That's not. I don't believe that. I just don't. And so people have gotten mad at me. It's like, why wouldn't you pay full price for this? Because I don't feel it's worth it. And
that's why I love like things like Game Pass, because you get to just pay like $15, or like first timers only do $1 a month, and you get to try out all of these title games, and see if you actually want to buy them or not. And what's cool is it's not being streamed to you. You can actually download the game onto your hard drive and play it with your own graphics card. So it's
real quick, gentlemen. I figured he'd be lurking somewhere. So we know, at least those of us who are on the program on a regular basis, that he doesn't like a particular zone I like to play. But you know what? Because he's here, I'm going to play it. Anonymous. 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 And welcome, Anonymous.
Why not?
Yes.
Why not just top my day off with that? Why not?
Anonymous.
Oh, you know you come here, you know you like that video. You won't admit it, but you know you do.
I came here
loves it.
despite that video. I don't know why.
Should have never told me. Should have never told me.
I know it's my fault. It's all my fault. Blame the man. Blame me. It's okay.
Okay, I'll blame you.
All right.
But the reason this keeps happening is because of it's got to be the egos, and it's just the greed to say, look, Gotham Knights may turn out to be a pretty good game. It might. Then again, it might be just mediocre. It comes out next week, so.
But let me get back to what Loki said too, because Loki does mention this on his channel that all they want us to do is consume. Don't ask questions. Don't think to yourself, is this going to be any good? No, they just want us to see it and go, I'm buying it because they're telling me to.
Yep. And so I would rather them do a better job with especially their trailers. Even if you like a trailer, you still may not be sure about the entertainment property. I would rather them do something like they did with Bullet Train, which I guess I found out was based on something my friend said, and my friend said I guess it was kind of a ripoff of something else. Well, what else is new? But that it doesn't mean that the entertainment wasn't quality. I mean, Bullet Train had a lot, and when Brad Pitt is usually in something, it's probably a good sign.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain actors. I mean, let's talk about Top Gun Maverick.
Mr. Cruise. Yes.
Yeah. Tom Cruise wanted to give us something that was special, and we got something special with Top Gun Maverick.
I agree.
It wasn't a sequel that some of us wanted. I'll admit it. I didn't think we needed a sequel to the original Top Gun.
Yep. I felt the same way.
But after seeing the finished product, I enjoyed it. I felt like I got my money's worth. I went and saw it.
I did too.
Two times.
When I only saw it. So.
And Leia Rose says hello to you, Cash.
Yes, hello, Leia. Good to see you.
I mean, that's the whole problem. It doesn't matter if it's the video game industry or Hollywood in general. All they want us to do is consume their products and not bat an eye going, oh, wait a minute. This isn't really true to its source material. No, they just want us to watch it.
And they'll never notice.
I think about Batman Forever. Those devices that the Riddler came up with where they were hooked up to the TV and it was just sucking all the information out of the people. That's pretty much what Hollywood's doing now. Oh, look, we got She-Hulk. Consume. We've got Reigns of Power. Consume. Oh, gosh, I only made it through 3 episodes of that.
The only episode I'd probably ever watch again, or at least parts of it, would probably be the Matt Murdock one. But, I don't know if it's character assassination. I've heard a lot of mixed feelings about that. If it is, if it isn't. But to say that this is, I would say like She-Hulk is just, people like it fine. But for me, it will always be an abomination. Especially finding out about the source material and going, oh, well, yeah, she does break the fourth wall. But the things that she does in the show is not the stuff that she does in the comics or the animated show. when she popped up in the Incredible Hulk in that '90s animated one. So.
Who actually likes this show?
Oh, I know. I was talking to somebody. I was on a stream a few days ago, Anonymous, and this guy enjoys the show with his wife. So,
well, there's no counting for taste, I guess, but
well, I mean, that's people like what they like. So, no, I'm not. But remember, certain things that we also enjoy, a lot of people, not saying those other people will, but a lot of people will attack us. So. It's quite funny.
I got attacked.
I can understand
when
not liking a genre or a
sure.
I'm not into horror movies, or I'm not a sci-fi guy. I like or they like murder mysteries, or all that kind of stuff. But inherently terrible quality of storytelling and writing and CGI and all this stuff. Any thinking person that that likes anything that is of high quality, you have to notice the drop in of what they've done, and still just come out like, well, that's pretty good. I don't get that.
Yeah, like there's people have a lot of mixed feelings about Andor, but I'm enjoying Andor because it's like it has a spy thriller thing, and so it has this build up. And I haven't watched episode 6 yet because I usually watch this show with my brother. But I feel Andor's a good show. It's not one of my favorites, but it's a good Star Wars show. There's a lot of good acting, and there's a lot of good dialogue. But, if you don't like a show that builds like a spy thriller, then, you probably aren't going to enjoy it, or an espionage show. You're probably not going to enjoy a show like this. And I respect that.
Yeah. If you want to not like something for, the type of show that it is, like, I'm not a big fan of, stuff like, Breaking Bad, gangster shows, cop shows. That's not really my thing. But I can watch, if I watch something like that, I can recognize the quality in it. I can say, oh, this was written good, it was acted good. It's not really my type of thing, but it was a good show for what it was.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's kind of me with like my sister watching 18th century TV shows or some stuff like that. I was like, I don't really care for them, but they do a really good job with the attention to detail of what everybody's wearing and the people, even like the pedestrians, and like they do a good job with the writing, of course.
Right.
So I share that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, yeah. I would say you can watch, like, say you watch Daredevil from Netflix, and turn around and watch She-Hulk and think, oh, that's same. It's all the same.
If you watch any of those Netflix shows, it is so much better in my opinion, that it feels, when you watch any of those Netflix Marvel shows, and it's more Netflix did work than Marvel, you go, it's like a comic book. They are not afraid to make jokes. There's even two women making jokes about how there's one joke in Jessica Jones where the Rosario Dawson's character says to Jessica Jones, or Kristen Ritter, right? Yeah. Says to her, usually somebody has to buy me dinner before they can take my pants off or something. That's funny. And I miss that. I miss that kind of dialogue because it's just funny.
Yeah.
That's what, in a mature show, that's the kind of dialogue we should get. Not the goofiness. I do not like, for me, I just don't, how goofy Marvel has become. It's more than an agenda. It's more than everything has to be so dang goofy. And I would love to have a more serious tone again with Marvel shows. When we first watched the original X-Men, there was more of a serious tone. It was not so goofy. And same with like, there was goofiness to the original Thor movie, but there was still a seriousness to it as well. And that's what I would like back. I want more of that balance. So because it works just better. And yet they found an audience for all this goofiness. Great, whatever. But
yeah, the audience, yeah, it's not a bigger audience either. It's a smaller audience, and that's why they lose money. That's why they, they can't get the same reaction that they used to get. People come up against it harder. It's just, I don't know.
The other thing is too, Anonymous, and I know a lot of YouTube channels and a lot of media and stuff are guilty of this. They spend too much time on something and they give this too much attention where I don't feel it needs it. Spend 5 weeks on some, 6 weeks on the same topic over and over again. It's like, what is that going to solve? It's just like when people are like, we're taking this over, we've saved this, we've done. What have you saved? You can't do anything. These companies can buy each other and they can do these things. What are you talking about? What are you saving?
It's not about saving the IP, because chances are once they get their hooks into it, it's a goner. But it's about saving the overall culture of what we had, or taking it back, or I don't know, just getting back to where we were. If we yell loud enough to make them hurt in the pocketbook and figure out that their ideology isn't good for business, and they will dial it back. Yes, we know they're never going to change their mind, but money talks. So they start producing better content that we will enjoy, everybody can enjoy, versus crap that they only put out for a subset of human beings that don't usually spend their money on that and don't really care because they're too busy Twittering and TikToking and crap like that. So
right,
we just want our crap back. Get their grubby hands out of it.
Yeah.
And like I said, Doctor Who's gone. We've lost Doctor Who. We've lost Star Wars. We've lost Marvel's dead. We get that.
Star Trek's dead.
And we may never get back all the things that we loved, all of those things that they've ruined, but maybe we can start new ones with better companies that will adhere to. We cry out, somebody's bound to answer.
There's just certain properties, like I don't feel Star Wars is dead. I feel Marvel's more going in a worse direction than Star Wars. I think Star Wars is more, for me at least, flipping a coin. Like you're gonna find, like, if you liked Rogue One, you're definitely gonna like Andor.
She's dead, Jim.
But a lot of these properties, like I haven't tried Rings of Power. I've watched some of House of Dragons, or House of the Dragon. I have to say that Matt Smith is amazing, but he's also really a really good actor. So it's not really surprising. But I still have not completely gotten into this show. I've started watching Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and I'm liking that show. From what I've seen so far, I still got.
For me, it's right now. It's top 2 shows of the year. It's Orville and that show, Edge Runners. They've just carried it with storytelling, and that's 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 the stuff we need, at least to keep us occupied.
I know, like the Orville. I remember I watched the first season of it, when it was first on Fox, but I haven't gotten back to the Orville. So. And I understand people are still liking it, so that's great.
I'm personally scared of what's going to happen to it since its partnership is with Disney now.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about the Orville, though. We still haven't gotten any news about a 4th season yet.
Yeah, there's that too. So,
and we should have
gotten...
like
the odds, though, are looking more likely now, thanks to the, I guess, on promotion from Disney and Hulu. They've been really selling it. Now there's like a brand new trailer Seth released today, and I guess it's doing really good because they just want people to spread the word, keep telling them that to watch the show, and if you've seen it, watch it again because it's true. It's like if you like storytelling, then there's no reason why you shouldn't like these shows unless you're kind of annoyed by I guess offensive jokes, but it's not like Family Guy to me because Family Guy had more offensive jokes than what this show has. To me,
yeah, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
Family Guy, and that's the other thing too. Like I know Crit gets on me about Simpsons and this and that, but when you've been watching shows for so long and you're still finding some entertainment value out of it, then you're going to keep watching it.
Yeah. But also keep in mind, I was just listing off science fiction. There's probably some live drama TV shows I haven't really paid attention to this year that were also pretty good. So yeah, there's also that. I'm sure that good writing exists in every corner. It's not as outspoken as it used to be because a lot of movies we've gotten, in the past, at least were really good and genuine films that you can rewatch till today, and now are considered cult films. So, I miss that. I kind of miss that.
And there's still, if people are really, really upset all the time about all the entertainment coming out, you can still go back and watch all the old stuff. It's not. I mean, you can even go back and watch stuff. I would say like Buck Rogers.
Yeah.
It can be goofy, but it also can be a bit more serious too. And
Yeah.
that's all the entertainment that I've grown up with. Now, if I grew up with some of this other stuff, then I would be.
It's hard to say, I wouldn't know.
I don't know. I just don't know. But I'm still like I'm not ready for me personally to throw Star Wars in the trash. Star Wars can annoy me. Like there's friends of mine who love Kenobi. Kenobi for me didn't do much, but I'm liking Andor. But I really did like Rogue One. That was some of the best stuff that I've seen from Disney because the director says what I want to do is make a compelling story. And I wish more people would come out and say this. Look, if I'm not going to follow the source material, then I'm going to make a compelling story. And I wish, and I've said this before, but I wish that would happen. But instead of this attitude and stuff like even the Woman King, where there's basically lies in that, and it's been proven, and then people say the actor says, and I like Viola Davis is a really good actor. I mean, if you guys ever watch Fences,
she's a terrific actor.
Fences is amazing, but of course also Denzel's in it too, and it's a play, but it's great, and it's sad. It is sad to an extent, but it's just I don't really understand a lot of the decisions of these companies. There's still stuff coming out from Netflix and thing, but how wouldn't it be nice if there was a lot more entertainment that even the four of us would be like, wow, I'm really excited about that. And so that's why I always keep myself reserved on this. And I'm like, well, we'll just see what happens.
Well, it's not unusual companies to encourage shows to be intentionally pretty bad or even intend for them to get canceled. I mean, we've seen it before with many shows. Star Trek Enterprise is always going to be the first one that comes to my brain because of how prominent that cancellation was and what went behind it because, the company screwed it over. So it's like what you're saying with TV shows now. They showed it at a different night schedule. So how movies, there wasn't streaming services at that time. So a lot of people would watch a show whenever they knew what time it would air. And they would show Star Trek Enterprise at a really late hour at where people were watching like stuff like LA Cop. So, I mean, they weren't getting the viewership and they screwed the show over and got it canceled. When if they had showed it at the right time, it would have got a 5th season and a 7th season. So
right.
It's not unlikely stuff like that happens, and it's unfair too. I don't know if we can really sit here and wait for them to change it because I would rather hope that someone like you, Cash, makes a company on your own and then makes badass movies that I can enjoy, because I know have that passion, and I'd like to see more people with that kind of passion, which they realize what we're missing out on. Not too many people know what we're missing out on right now.
Yeah,
Cat, get on it.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
When I first told you about the old man, what were your thoughts?
After I saw the old man, I was already interested in it because let's see, we've got Jeff Bridges, we've got John Lithgow, and however I feel about people's politics or whatever, if they put on a good quality show and that looked interesting to me, I was already like, let's give it a shot. And my brother got me interested in it, and I said, let's give it a shot. And so that's why I gave it a shot, Mike. When we talked about it, I was happy to hear that you were interested in it as well, because I wanted to get more people interested in it because I think it's very underrated. I really do.
I mean, we are getting the second season, but I wish more people were talking about it because even here on YouTube, I haven't found too many people talking about it.
Nope. Which it bothers me, man. I wish they would. I just, when there's stuff that's good, then I think people, it should be fine. I mean, I still miss Agent Carter. And when one of my friends, who is one of these people, she loves to argue, we're still buddies, but she loves to argue with me. She'll tell me things about how She-Hulk is not for men and this and that, fine, whatever. But she doesn't like when I attack these shows that she enjoys, and she seems to get very defensive about it. But we can still stay friends at the end of the day, or whatever. We can still be friends. But I don't really understand when people are like, I enjoy this entertainment. I'm like, well, that's good, but I can't. And I don't know. I really do not like where Marvel is going right now. I really don't. I grew up with Marvel. I've had the trading cards of Marvel, and where Disney and Marvel have gone, I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Especially with these Disney Plus shows. What are you doing? I've watched a lot of them. I thought Moon Knight started off pretty good, and then I thought it just fell apart. And that was the only Marvel Disney Plus show that I watched all the way through. I tried one episode of Miss Marvel, and I said, "What is this? It's just not for me." No. It doesn't kill you. It really doesn't to try this stuff. And I know Anonymous is probably going to pull out his hair.
Well, just having like just having like that firsthand experience of also playing through Miss Marvel's story on the Avengers game, like way before the show came out.
Right.
I was not impressed by it, and I'm like, no way that they're going to make this into a show. It was probably the most boring part of the game.
Yeah, it's just low tier content just to fill a space, which they don't understand, though, that, like, I think I've said this before, but none of this stuff they're making is has any replay value. Even if you can get people to watch it the first time without throwing up, they're never coming back to watch it again. So all that stuff sitting on their shelf in their little digital library, never getting touched. So I don't, and that won't keep people connected or subscribe to their streaming service. Well, I got all this stuff here. I didn't, I watched all that, and I don't really care to watch it again. It's not like The Office or Friends or Seinfeld or any of that stuff that people can watch over and over and over and over again and still laugh at it. It's nothing like that. So why would you want to subscribe to Disney Plus when like most of their content is just non-watchable?
Yep.
I subscribed to Disney Plus when it first came out, thinking, a new streaming service, and The Mandalorian, of course. Excuse me, of course, was premiering on the service, so I thought, I'm going to check it out, and I checked out The Mandalorian. I liked it. I know there's some out there that didn't like it, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, that was a story that was all, if it wasn't for Grogu, then, because it all pushed Grogu. Grogu was a big part of the Mandalorian. I found it enjoyable too.
Yep, and then of course season 2 comes, and then of course everything that happened last year with Gina Carano. It's like, what are you people doing? You're ignoring history.
Well, they do, but then even after we move on from Gina Carano, it's just I'm still seeing the same mistakes that Disney is making with a lot of their properties. Look, I can tell you guys, and I can tell everybody and scream it to the world, I guess, that Lightyear is pretty awful. And in terms of standards of a person who's a huge fan of Pixar, you've got stupid characters, you've got a stupid plot, in my opinion, but the animation is great. But everything else around it is like very mediocre, and you go, wow, I'm glad I didn't pay much money for this. And I can tell people this thing is horrible. I have a friend, oh no, I didn't hear that. Why don't you go, oh, I watched it, wasn't that bad. I said, oh, you like the whole thing about this nonsense of the cloning and this and that of Buzz Lightyear? What it comes down to, and I don't care what Pixar says, this movie never should have been made. It's just one of those films never should have been made. And it's just like a lot of these remakes of shows, of movies. Let's remake this. Let's do this. Let's have this for a modern audience. Let's do this. No, it doesn't.
We don't need.
Why don't
we
you
don't
guys
need a
try
remake for a
something
modern
new?
audience. Why don't we
Try something
young
new?
kids
See what happens.
the original?
Yes, that needs to be
Tell
pushed
you,
more.
besides the Fortnite animation, that movie's general consensus before it was released was that it was going to be pretty ass. The fact that they weren't even bringing Tim Allen back, I mean, that's just like
I know.
very political. Obviously, they don't like his stance, and I know a lot of people do. But everyone's a Democrat, everyone's a Republican. We're making a movie here. Let's put that shit
Right.
aside and let's make a movie.
They can't put it aside now.
course
It's
not.
just like, even if you're going into these industries, and as you don't want to tell people your politics, especially if you like a certain whatever. You don't, because that will be something against you, which is 100% wrong. And yet other people can basically get away with murder, as in they can say whatever they pretty much want because they fit into a certain box. That is stupid.
Well, basically, basically, everybody in Hollywood and Disney and the big corporations, they have their own personal version of ESG scores, right? Now they're just trying to make it a reality. They look at you and see your body of work and see the things you've said, and they size you up and give you a score, and you're not worthy to do business with us or be an actor for us or be a writer for us. And now they want it to be actually a tangible thing that they can enforce to cancel anybody they really don't like, that don't agree with them. So they've always been doing this. It's just been in their heads. It's been, behind the scenes. So
I feel
now
like
they're saying the quiet parts out loud.
Yep.
What I think needs to happen with, especially a lot of people on Twitter, social media, that if they actually spent time building something as a team, and I've been thinking about this for at least a few years now. I think there would be less cancellation. I think people would be like, wow, this is a lot of hard work. But once again, it's those words, hard work. This isn't supposed to be easy. It doesn't matter. Look, if you're not working, maybe you should build something. If you're able to save money, maybe save up that money for something else. Like in hopefully a few months, and this happened to me this year, that I'm working on a live action Star Wars project, but I made it very clear that, you guys have to understand I can be a very opinionated person because there's things that I like. And so in the script, the things that I'm adding is stuff that I have liked in the past of Star Wars. And sometimes in the future, but more in the past because that's what I grew up with. And people that I'm working with feel the same way. So you got people who like the EU, you got people who like the sequels, but there's people who are willing to work together to make things happen. and compromise. So, yeah.
Hmm.
But I wish more people, if we can, maybe even the four of us on Twitter can say, why don't you guys build something? Maybe once a week saying, you guys want to find something rewarding, build something. You don't like some entertainment, build something, learn something. There's a lot of things even on YouTube people can learn. Now it's work, but it's also rewarding.
Well, it's also when people come by YouTube channels and criticize the content creator because they don't like their particular content. It's not your channel.
Mhm.
This isn't a regular television station on basic cable or even, your premium cable station where everything's pre-planned and you have
Yeah.
different shows airing at one time. This is the content creator of that channel. This is an extension of themselves. Just like I've said multiple times on this channel is an extension of me. Part of it is about baseball. Part of it is discussing movies and television and games. And
Mhm.
going into the games, I do live streams of playing games. And if I struggle in a game, I struggle in a game.
Right.
That's just part of playing it.
Yep. I've become Mike's coach for this stuff. Mike will be like, how did I do, coach? And I go, well, you did this right. You didn't do this right, but you're making progress, and that's what's important.
Yeah, I mean, you saw me struggle multiple times in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and even now playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider. There was a part in my last stream where dumb me, and I'm saying that on purpose because I was dumb. I needed to fill up an area of water so I can actually dive into that water and get rid of an obstacle. Well, stupid me spent an hour going around in circles before I went, oh
It's
yeah, I've got to
okay.
fill up the
We've
pool
done
of
that.
water.
We've done that with everything. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've probably done that. Unfortunately, with the Lego Star Wars games, but
Yep.
It's
Bang
totally
on the
normal
butt.
though, because
don't give Ron and Fred any ideas, Gap. Don't give him any ideas. He's already changed the game enough.
yeah, it's platformers are tough, Mike. So it's like I'm kind of amazed by some of the ones you play. Like for example, Tomb Raider, I never could get into that. But I play other platformers, but they're usually always around the PS2 era.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, one of the games I've always enjoyed playing, and I'll probably end up streaming more of the Mega Man X games, is the Mega Man series. I've always enjoyed those games.
Yeah, Mega Man 11 is pretty rough. I've been playing offline here and there. I'm like, geez, man, I think it's time
Mega
played
Man
this game in a
Online, I
while.
haven't heard of that.
Mega Man 11. Mega
Oh,
Man
11.
Online. Mega Man Online.
Yeah, I
has
have the series. I don't know if it's all of them, but I have most of them
Mhm.
burnt to the RetroArch emulator I have, which lets me
Nice.
play them. I haven't actually played Mega Man, but I have it there if I ever choose to, because it looks interesting. I like the older school platformers. I'm more used to 3D platformers like Jak 3 or Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that. But I mean,
That's when you grew up. That's what
Yeah.
you saw. You saw the 3D platformers.
I do still try my best with the very old 2D platformers. They're actually a lot more fun if I was better at them. I was just playing, I remember on stream, I think it was your stream, Mike, where I was playing the Alien 3 platformer.
Yeah, you showed it to me.
Yeah, that one was pretty tough.
Yeah, and none of those games were easy back then.
Yeah.
You put the cartridge into the system, turned on the system, and you could start off the game right away, and you could end up dying immediately.
I can
And
say
you
that
had to
I don't
learn.
think many people can disagree that games have definitely become easier compared to before. I mean, it depends on the game, of course. Like I know some people have trouble with Sifu, but
Sifu's okay. I've watched a lot of that.
Sifu is actually, to me, it's pretty easy. But I know some people actually uninstalled the game, and it's not their fault. they do a really bad job with the tutorial in that game. But it's definitely become a lot more lax compared to before, because I'm playing like all of these platformers from the SNES era, and they're tough. I mean, I give a lot of credits to people who were able to beat them and speed run through them like in one go, and just it must have taken blood, sweat, and tears to be able to be that good.
I mean, I think of a tough platformer on the NES, and everybody saw the live stream I did of it. Was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES, one of the hardest games ever made.
You played Contra?
Yes,
Contra,
I played
yeah.
Yes, I played Contra. And no, I don't use the Konami code. I
The
grin and
shooter
bear it.
platform, right? I have that one burnt as well.
One hit, you're dead.
Yep.
Oh, gee.
3 lives. Good luck.
That kind of is not obviously not the same game here, but it kind of reminds me of Arma 3, where you get shot 3 times, you're dead.
Yep, and I'm waiting for somebody like Paul to actually play.
Oh, come on, go easy on him. Go easy on him.
Come on, Paul. We're gonna put you through the grinder, man. You're gonna start with that Teenage Mutant. You have the Turtles collection, so let's go. Let the struggle begin, Paul. Where are you? I'm kidding, but
You do that or put some Elite Force torture.
I mean, even games like Star Trek Online is not the easiest game in the world. There is stuff you have to learn, just like any.
Because of how convoluted they make it.
Right. True.
Especially in the new mission where Wesley Crusher is the Emperor of the Mirror Universe.
Oh God. Minus the R&D system, the duty officer system, I guess the leveling up system is rudimentary at best. But everything else, like the R&D duty, all of that was out of the game. It'd be a super simple game. Like the game is really easy. They just make it so convoluted and that's with a lot of games. They make it, the players think it's hard, but really the reason it's hard is because they want you to put like 4 hours of your time just sitting there and farming something.
Mm-hmm. And even in the current mission where you're on V'ger and you have to go around and activate the different devices, it's like, oh come on, this is
I never got your
bullshit.
thoughts on that, Mike. What do you think of the new episodes?
So far, I'm not liking this beginning part because you have to keep running back to the different platforms to activate that system. It's like, oh come on, I just activated this one and now I got drones attacking me. I gotta go activate that other one. This is bullshit.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
That's what I was saying the other day when I was playing it. But I'm still going through it. I might be, cursing, bitching, complaining, but I'm still
doing it. What did you think of the Wesley Crusher introduction, Emperor?
I thought it was interesting. You know what I really wish? I wish they had made it where it was Artoon that was the Emperor and not Wesley Crusher.
I didn't think about that. That'd be cool. Yeah, there would have been so many better choices than Wesley. Wesley, it's like you said, it's interesting. They can, despite the actor, and where I stand on his opinions, the character himself, I never really hated Wesley. So him being like evil and demented could prove to be interesting, but I don't see how he'd become the Emperor. I don't know. I'd see it if like Riker was the previous Emperor and he was close to Riker in that universe and then killed him and then became the Emperor himself. And that would be a little bit more believable. Like Emperor Wesley previously was like a water boy for the last Emperor or something.
Heck, I would be happier with Data as the Emperor.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could pretty much say that Data in the Mirror Universe is lore.
Did you know that they
100%
changed
correct.
the color of the Mirror V'ger for the Storm Chasers mission? So if I think you play on ground, it's all blue on the inside, and before it was red.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I don't know why they did that. It makes more sense for it to be red.
Yeah, it's the Mirror Universe.
It's the Mirror
complete
Universe.
opposite.
Blue kind of signifies the Prime timeline.
Yeah. And go ahead and blame this on Transformers, but I always associated blue with good, even in the original Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah.
A blue lightsaber, you were good. Red lightsaber, you're evil.
Yeah.
Autobots had blue eyes. Decepticons had red eyes.
I don't know what that's called. There's a name for that, but it's that I have that same kind of, I share that too, where I result blue with being good and red with being evil, even though I've been told many times that, oh, did you know that Jedis use red lightsabers too? I'm like, yep. That doesn't make me think that they're any less evil. I just still don't like red lightsabers. It's just evil. That's what it means. But I guess not. It's just that's how I see it, and it's like there's a term for that where we see things like that in black and white, but it's not really that simple, But it's just, I guess, human nature, or at least some parts of us that have that kind of, what would you call it? Behavioral pattern. Not everybody is the same way. Some people don't see red as evil, I suppose, but I do.
Yeah.
So what do you think about conservatives?
Get your words out of my.
One shall stand, one shall fall. Why throw away your life so recklessly?
See, if I went on about conservatives, Mike would never get to sleep.
Oh gosh, you know my rule.
No
Don't bring politics.
I'm just talking about the color.
Don't worry. There's a few people that come on the panel will bring politics, so you can always usually count on that. One of them starts with a P, and the other one starts with a C, and another one starts, and that's as long as Mike is fine with it. As long as he's fine with it. If he's not, youngster, well, out you go. So,
yeah.
Until you behave yourself. Yeah. And Phil seems.
All right, youngster, out you go.
Don't come back. Ever.
Yes. Phil seems to think he knows everything about California, yet he's never lived in this state. So it's quite something, I will say.
I tend not to really argue with that too much. I can understand where most people are coming from that, but you're right. They haven't really lived here.
I visited once. I know everything about it.
It's like me saying I'm supposed to know a lot about Delaware, yet I've never lived there. Oh, because he found some articles of people acting like idiots in California. What else is new?
Okay, there are idiots everywhere. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah.
First 19 years of my life were spent in California.
Yep.
Granted, though, there is a lot of idiots in California, so that's what I mean when I see, I understand where a lot of people are coming from. It's kind of like that colorful state, but I'll say one thing: our mayor didn't at least dip to go on a vacation while all of us suffered a blackout. So that's at least one thing that we have that's on top compared to Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz has lost something, so I don't know what the crap's doing.
Well, I don't know. I haven't thought much about Ted Cruz.
Yeah, I don't want to do politics.
Yeah, no politics.
Anonymous.
Rewind.
What? And I'm serious about this. And I know there are some people that would like me to delve into that particular pool, but I don't want to, because that's not what this channel was first founded on. It was started as a way to recap the Cubs games. And then I wanted to do episode reviews. Then I wanted to do movie reviews along with the game streams I was already doing. Then I wanted to put my 2 cents in, anyone who wanted to come onto the panels, 2 cents when it comes to pop culture. But one thing I've always said is I don't want to discuss politics. So when it comes to politics,
How about no?
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. But one thing I will say, I'm sure we're going to be wrapping up soon here, but one thing I will say about it is that I wish shows actually brought back more values that actually help people in their lives. We used to have more of that. And it's always funny to me when people are like, yeah, but it was this race and that has nothing to do with it. These shows actually had good values. I wish we had more of that in entertainment again. I really do. Like, wow, you know what? That really made me think. Or, oh, you know what? I might actually do that. That's a really good idea. Instead of being always in your face and saying, no, you need to listen to me. Not good.
In order to be an adult, and this is just my opinion, you can take it as you want to. You can say, go screw yourself, Mike. You can say whatever you want. But in order to be an adult,
yeah, Mike, go screw yourself. No, go ahead.
You have to be able to listen to different opinions that aren't like your own. Because there's one thing in life you're going to hear. Something you want to hear when it comes to asking a question, related to a TV show or movie or book, whatever it is, or something you don't want to hear. That maybe somebody happens to like a series that you don't like. You know what? It's their life. Let them do what they want.
Yep.
Let them do what they want. Let them like what they like and move on. It's not going to affect your life in one way, shape, or form. Just because, I happen to be a Cubs fan and Cash is a Dodgers fan, isn't going to ruin his life.
No.
Because at the end of the day, his team is in the playoffs. Mine isn't.
That's true.
So, on that note, I do want to say that, Anonymous, I would like you to talk about anything that's coming up on your channel or has happened to appear on your channel in recent days or as of today.
I've uploaded my ISOM #1 review, unboxing and review. People go look at that, check out my review, check out what I thought of the book. And also, well, I tried to do a short. I don't think I did a short. It's a minute long, but I don't think it's like in the shorts category. I don't know what I did. Just a I guess time lapse video of me inking and coloring a picture of Yara from the Rippaverse.
All right.
Yeah. Boomer.
Like,
I'm a boomer.
He's like, I don't remember what I did. I don't remember much. It's like,
I don't remember what I did.
You ever watch A Mighty Wind, Anonymous?
No, I don't think I have.
You should. It's really it's underrated, dude. No. Definitely give it a try.
Yeah, I'll look at it. Yeah, go check. I'm sick, guys. I'm sorry. I probably sound like crap, but I've been sick all day.
I hope you feel better, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Man, feel better, dude. Jeez.
Yeah, my wife gave me a head cold, so that's nice.
Your wife did it.
My wife. Sure. Blame the wife.
I know, man, dude.
I will. She had it, now I got it, so I'm blaming her. So yeah, I've been sick all day. She made me get out and take the trash out, and out of the truck. We live in like a long driveway, so we like drive our trash down to the street, and she made me get out because it was raining and do it. And I got a bad back, and then I wrenched my back while I was doing it, obviously.
Jeez, man. You've had a day, haven't you?
I've had a day. Well, yeah, then it's like pouring down rain. So I stayed home for a certain reason. I won't say because it was a special day, and then I couldn't do anything because my back hurt. I was sick, and it was pouring down rain. So just hanging out. It's just then oh god, then Rippaverse told me my art was such crap that they couldn't post it on the website and enter me into the contest, so that was a kick to the balls. But everything's great, guys. I'm gonna be in the closet hanging myself here in a minute, so that's all right.
Hey, none of that talk.
No.
Rippaverse really told you that or something?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, whatever. It's cool. I'm fine. I'm not bitter at all.
I get sure.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I'm fine with that.
Not at all.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it's been a great
that
day.
twice, I believe you.
Do what?
I believe you. No, that's hardcore. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Life goes on. I'll get over it. Things will,
Did you think are you trying to be an artist?
Send
or
them another
something, Miles?
artwork.
Doing a lot of-
Draw like the middle finger.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, I'm learning again. I used to draw when I was younger, and when I got into comic books, I taught myself how to draw, and then I quit for a long time after I stopped reading comic books. Then for the past 6-8 months, I've been trying to get back into it and learning new stuff, watching tutorials and getting better at it. And yeah, my picture I uploaded wasn't great. I didn't think I was going to win, obviously, but I saw some of the art on there, and I'm pretty sure it was.
So Ripa sent you a message back then, an email?
The guys who were the Ripper first
guys,
guys, not Eric July. He doesn't.
Oh, not Eric. Okay, not Eric. Yeah, all right.
Actually, he doesn't. Well, I don't know. He may agree with him because he's like never retweeted any of my stuff that I sent him, like he does everybody else's. So
I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't like me. I don't know.
No, dude. Just keep working at it, man. You know,
I
if
will.
you want it, just keep working at it.
It could be where he's not seeing your tweets. I mean, how many times have
keep making art? You know.
How many times have we've all gone onto the platform known as Twitter, and somebody says, "Yeah, Mike, I tagged you in this tweet." Well, I didn't see it.
No, it's possible. I could be shadow banned on Twitter. I don't know.
You could be,
because like I said, I mean, even people that I follow don't even like interact with those pictures and stuff that I put on there, or some of them do, not too many. But
Honest,
that's Twitter for you, though.
I don't see a lot of your tweets. There are times I don't see a lot of Spock's tweets or even Cash's tweets.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
the feed just sucks. I recommend something like it's gonna be for your computer. Unfortunately, they might have an app for it.
There's a certain person who needs to take over Twitter, and then I think it'll be better.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He starts with a
I've
Musk.
noticed though that when I post something on Twitter, it
potentially
it's like it's supposed to be at the very top where it's like most of the recent tweets, but then I go to the homepage and then just shows something that was posted 13 hours ago in front of mine, and I'm like, what is this timeline? It's not even going in like timeline order. It's just whatever order.
Yeah, I've seen.
It's like, oh look, somebody you follow posted this tweet. Okay, cool.
Cool. They posted this tweet 18 hours ago. I
don't know this
really liked to
person.
have seen that show.
Yeah. Oh well.
But yeah, thanks for having me on, Mike. It was good to be here for a bit.
Yeah,
chatting with you guys.
It's always a fun time on here, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I've been bringing everybody down. I'm sick and all of that, and I'm just.
It's okay, dude. It's all right.
Piece of turd.
Just yeah. It's all right, man. You just if you really want to try again, I don't know how long the competition is going.
Oh, it's over.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying again. Ain't no way. But no, it's okay. I don't let. Yeah,
don't.
I'm
let
not the
that
greatest artist.
discourage you. Don't let that discourage you, man. If you want to keep doing it, do it.
I'll
Just
do
keep
it.
going.
I'll keep going.
right.
I'll learn. I'll get better.
Good.
I got a new program too, because the last
Good,
program
man.
I had was low res, real quality stuff. So I ended up paying money for a new program, and it's got finer definition and all that. But so yeah, I'm happy about that. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And Cash, what's coming up on the Phantom Hooligans?
Well, as long as I actually get some dang sleep good enough this week, I get enough sleep. I feel like a zombie last few days. Oh no. You guys don't have to feel sorry for me. I'm sure it's my fault.
Oh man, it's all right. Eat a Snickers or something. Good
Eat a Snickers. But yeah, no, I should be this week starting Saints Row 2 just to stick it to anybody who anybody who thinks that I'm ever going to play that reboot disaster, because I never will. On stream, off stream, just light it on fire and watch it burn. So, but yeah, I think as long as I'm sleeping better this week, I should be streaming Saints Row 2. Yep.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else coming up besides that?
I'll be talking to Matt about doing a discussion stream. I don't know. He's probably been busy. Matt works a lot, so but I'll talk to him. If we're not, because I usually want him involved whenever we're doing discussion streams. So of course, and I don't know. We were gonna do something on the Switch, but that hasn't happened yet. So we'll see what happens. But yeah. But I'm definitely going to be and we lost Mike.
Oh, it's Mike. It's our stream now. Let's go for another 6 hours.
Let's do it.
No.
You guys have fun because I'm going to bed.
I do have to pop out though.
Yeah, me too.
It was good talking to you guys and Mike wherever you are in the cosmos.
I'll wait for Mike. Yeah,
but
he'll be back. I guess I'll have to take over the stream until. Oh no, Chucky is returned. Of course, dude.
You little wusses. You're gonna leave because your little friend isn't here. Well, don't worry, because tomorrow night I'm gonna be reviewing my show, episode 2. So be there. Oh, Cash, by the way, your Dodgers suck.
If that was the case, why are they in the playoffs, Chucky?
Chucky 1976 called. They want their haircut back.
Chucky.
Watch it, Spock.
You think I'm afraid of you, Chucky, with your running around with a knife, thinking you're so cool? Stupid puppet.
You're 2 foot
I
tall.
am cool. I'm the greatest guy you've ever known. The greatest guy you'll ever see.
You lie to yourself, Chucky. You know it.
Whatever you say, Mr. Goody Two Shoes.
You can't even sit on the toilet.
Why you?
You use a butter knife in all your movies.
It's called a butcher knife. And what the hell are you supposed to be?
Oh man, he's an anonymous.
Anana, whatever.
I am a Vulcan.
So anyways, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock on this YouTube channel, there's going to be a review of episode 2 of Chucky. Be there. Whether Mike's there, who knows? I kind of like this YouTube thing.
Well, you got a face for it, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, so do you.
You know it.
The forehead of security.
So I guess I should say good night and, all that stuff that Mike says, but nah. Good night, and you better come back. Take care.